Hi everyone, welcome in the stream. Welcome in and welcome back. I hope you've been well. Let me go ahead and make sure that guy's muted. Microphone's good, YouTube's good, Twitch is good. We're all good, it seems. Welcome back in. Let me go ahead and slide this guy over. Let me make sure that guy's refreshed. And then we can go ahead and get started with a roll call as it was soon PM. As I slide this guy back over to here. Lovely. All right, well, welcome in the stream. Proto, welcome in Dimitri. Welcome in as well as you, Check, and to you as well, Beatus, as well as you, Pod. Welcome in the stream, and to you as well, Adi, and welcome in. Hi. I hope you've all been well. Pod, I completely forgot to comment on your stream, but I did watch your stream the other day. It was quite the lovely background music, and where's Robert? Yes, indeed. And no, wait, no, there's no Robert. I don't know what Robert you're talking about, Check. And I'm fine, but the company's not really doing well to hire me to anyone. That's unfortunate. I know fancy new muscle model is the last time so nice. Thank you. Yes, Bobby isn't here, is he? Okay, you know what? Hold on. Let me go get him since he's not here. Give me 1 second here. Oh nice. I can't say this is quite fun. Let me just grow him here. If I go ahead and do a little bit of that, and then I can hold him right here, and then we should be good to go as I hold on here. I'm having too much fun with this. Oh nice. Oh wait, hold on. Oh boy. Yup, do that. Oh my. Eventually I'll get these the controls right, but hold on. There we go. Now we should be good to go. And is there a toggle that blasts you into space? No, not at all. And Bobby's here in spirit. He's here, alright. I'm fine. Oh, I did read that. Lovely. Okay, let me go ahead and slide this guy up. Bobby, he is here. Let me slide this guy up. That should be good there. I was clicking on a few of these buttons here and oh, hello there, Bobbert. Bobbert. Yeah, that's just a fancy name right there. How adorable. You heard nothing? Nope, I don't know why that played the music. That should not be that music. We're good. I don't know why I did that. We're good. Hopefully no copyright. Oh my, let me grab these guys here. And let me go ahead and click on you here. Yep, should be good. And I was so close to being hired. Just end up heard from one person. Wait a month before you can call me back to talk again. I'm working on the company. Hi, Domastrix. Welcome back in the stream. Welcome back in. And hello there. Oh, I did read that as well. I did Goober Airs' return. I don't know what Goober you're talking about. I don't know any goopers. Yeah. Hopefully that cover race says most later for Switch Smite, sir. Oh boy, I hope not at least. And, anyway, gotta pop for now. No worries at all at the end. No worries at all. Let me go ahead and click on this. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. That's always very sweet of you. I'm looking for something specific that I was looking for before stream, and I'm not sure if it's going to pop up, but I'm hoping. And see ya at the end. Yeah, thanks for stopping by and saying hello. As I grab this guy here, and I was able to find it. There are a few files I was messing around with it. I'm trying out a new formatting. It's going a little all over the place, but the hope is that eventually things will go swell. Maybe not right now, but eventually soon to you, Miss Lou. It's the hope. As I click on this guy here, I should be able to save on that guy there. Alright, well, that timer is good to go, so shall we go ahead and get into things quite properly? As I go to here, I click on a little bit of this guy here, and then I click on this guy here. Lovely! I click on that guy. Oh man, when I get a deck, a stream deck, so it does all the buttons for me. Oh man, stop! And typically a really game karaoke moment. Oh no, I don't know that. Yeah, lovely. Well then, today should be a lot of fun. We're going to try something a little bit different, a smidge I say, and then it's not. The idea is that, what I've noticed recently is that, I keep saying that, what I've noticed is, we keep running, I keep running into the issue of not being able to complete what I set out to do for the current study. For example, last time, there was the 3 options of doing, not goldfish. There was fish, turtle, and I believe either seal or shark were the top 3, and I thought I'd be able to get through an entire stream and do all 3. That's not possible, and I don't think it's really going to be as possible as it was anymore. I've noticed that I'm starting to take longer to do a single sprite than multiple sprites at once, especially if they're different types of sprites. So we're gonna try to narrow it down just a little bit instead of all animals, we just do fish. Today is all fish. And I'm not sure if we're going to do all fish. I'm going to see how well this goes. I chose 3 different specific fish, and we'll see how it ends up. So time pressure. So time pressure time? Not quite time pressure time. Because the thing with studies is that while it is fun to have time, I also want to make sure I get a good use out of the study in the sense of we're here to sit, we're here to ruminate, we're here to really think about what we're looking at. So using our observation skills, I don't want to really time it. So the hope is that we can take our time by going through different topics, focusing on big specific parts. For example, last time when we were doing turtles, we focused on a little bit, it was a sidetrack. How do you say sidetrack? We got sidetracked. I got sidetracked with learning shapes, how to draw pixel art shapes with hexagons and octagons. And that was a good sidetrack because it is important to know how to draw mini shapes with pixel art. And that's the thing of, yeah, I would rather learn small skills like that than try to get through everything. I want to make sure I take my time. Hi, Cicada. Welcome back in the stream. I hope you've been well. And time management, it's happening. It was happening before. I realized I have overscoped. Yes, I have overscoped. And I am pink waving. Hello. Welcome in the stream. And that's basically today when I wanted to do my first place. Ended up not going. It's not needed for you. I see. With that said, today, Pixelart of the day, we'll do some resources, and then we'll get into drawing. I think the first piece you're going to start off drawing is the herring. Then we'll see about doing either the bass or the goldfish. Go from there. I think the herring is one of the most common fish, so I'm hoping at least, because when you think of fish, what fish species comes to mind? I don't know quite much if a bass. Bass is, I've seen some say it's saltwater, sometimes goldfish saltwater maybe. So while we're doing ocean animal study, I want to learn how to draw fish as a whole, so we're gonna keep it as this. That's so. Let me go ahead and bring you all into Pixelart of the day. As I click on a few more buttons here, so many buttons, I tell you. I grab that button, yeah, and then I go to this button here. We grab that button, beautiful, wonderful. We go to this guy right about here, and if I click on transition, it should bring you into the Pixelart of the day. Wonderful. Well then, welcome into Pixelart of the day. It's a section I like to do at the beginning of stream where we spend about 8 minutes taking a look at some pixel art I can either find on Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, anywhere on the internet of the likes. Today's Pixelart of the day is brought to you by Royal Naaman. I bet I butchered that. You'll be able to find them on Twitter if you happen to like this wonderful art. The idea is that a lot of the times when you're told how to get better at something, they say to do the thing, but I don't think a lot of people say to watch people who know what they're doing, i.e. the observation skill. For example, if you want to get good at skateboarding, not only do you have to learn how to skateboard, you gotta watch the pros do their cool sick trips and flips. How are you gonna know what cool sick trips and flips you can do if you haven't seen what's out there? So the idea is that we spend 8 minutes taking a look at some pixel art, trying to take it apart, feel what we like about it, dislike about it, see what, techniques we can find about it, what color modes, and the hope is that we can incorporate things we like into our art about it, or we can stay away. So for example, maybe you learned that you like really high saturated colors, and you need to stay away from desaturated colors, or maybe you like less colors in your art, and that's something you can learn. And that's a fish. And there's some fishy business going around here in fish news. And that's Swimmy talkie. Oh my. And I didn't realize so lovely. Alrighty then. That said, I should be able to click on this guy, and 8 minutes is on the clock now. Alright, well, I can say right off the bat, usually what I look at first is color usage. How many colors can I spot? I've noticed I tend to like art when there's about 3 to 5 colors as a whole. And looking at this guy here, what colors do I spot? I'd say I see white. I see, oh, that's not Fredoka. Let me make sure that's Fredoka. I see white, and let me see if I can make this guy a little bit bigger too. I see white. I also see brown here. I also see blue. I think that's all 3 colors I see. Even this background, you could argue it's black. You could argue it's blue and water. I can't do a water. Yeah, I can indeed. Thank you for the redeem, the ant. And because it's a fish. Ah, yes. You know, I should have made the redeems cheaper for water. That would have been great. Hold on. Water has been devoured. Thank you for that one, AD Ant. I think all in all, I see 3 colors. Granted, there's different variations of colors. For example, there's like a light blue here, a really light blue, or a dark brown. All in all, though, I think this piece is 3 colors. I'm sold on saying 3, and that's surprising. It feels very colorful, and I think maybe just because of how much it's blending different colors together. You could even call this an orange. Actually, no, that's not an orange. That's definitely not an orange. I take it back. But it looks orange. When I'm zoomed up close, is this a different color? No, that's still definitely a brown. And hoi, hoi, hoi. Hi, flying priest. Welcome in the stream. Welcome in and welcome back. I hope you're feeling well. Yeah, I think it's safe to label this as using 3 colors as a whole. All right, next up, the thing I look at is outlines. What type of outline are we seeing for this piece? And looking at outlines here, as I do OUTLINES, outlines, let me also make sure I write down here, colors, there we are, and no, you should add, eat a fish you do. I don't like fish, they don't taste good. The only fish I like are salmon, and they're too expensive to be eaten daily. Oh, 2 minutes left. Okay, so let's see, outlines. Are there any outlines going on for this guy? You know what? I'd say no outlines. I don't think I see any outlines for him. I don't know if I'd count this as an outline, this area here, because it's like broken. So I'd argue no outlines for this guy here. So I'm gonna put that, no outlines. I would consider that none. Oh, actually, yeah, you know, would that be an outline? It's up to debate. I'm going to say no, there's not a clear outline. Yeah, that's more anti-aliasing. So I'm gonna say no outline. Sometimes there's an outline, sometimes there's a colored outline, shaded outline. And if you're going for something a little bit more on the realistic side, usually people tend to not use outlines. And it makes a lot of sense here since it's supposed to be a realistic fish. No outlines gives it less of a cartoony feel and more of that surrealism. It's like the shadow, but not exactly an outline. Yeah. Speaking of anti-aliasing, let's go ahead and talk about techniques as I do TECHNIQE. Techniques. It was already mentioned before, but anti-aliasing. And to those of you that don't know what anti-aliasing, the best way to describe it is a technique, and I don't know if it's specifically Pixelart because I've heard it outside of Pixelart, but in Pixelart, anti-aliasing is a method used to round out and smooth and sharp areas. For example, if I zoom back into here, let's see if I can find a good spot. Right here. Do you see how there's like really dark blue spots along the edges of this area? But it feels like that they were peppered there, and maybe a little bit odd. Or look here, how there's a lot of gray dots going along this area that don't quite mesh with the 2 colors. Or maybe, look at that. Look at all this brown dot here. This would be anti-aliasing. The hope of adding these dots here is to blend things together and smooth out rough edges. So when I zoom out, for example, on this piece, you can't really see those dots. And the hope is that you're blending 2 different colors together. For example, this area here is a brown versus a light gray. So they do a dark gray as an in-between to smooth out the edges. And I need at least 5 Diet Cokes to wake up today. And very dithering on the scene. Yeah, I think it's lovely. And I would be acting this cool too if I was drawn in art style this cool. Isn't it lovely? And the thing is, why do you find it cool? What do you find cool about it? Is it the subject itself? Is it the style? Is it the colors? The finding out and understanding what feels cool can help you add a little bit of coolness to your own art. As we look here, for example, you can see more dots around the edges, and it's trying to blend the background with this brown color here. And another thing anti-aliasing can do, you can add what's it called, weight to something. So for example, if you're trying to make a line thicker, you can add a little bit more anti-aliasing, or if you're trying to make a line thinner, you can add a lot less anti-aliasing. So for example here, how there's 2 dots, or there's no dots here, there's a background in this area, yet you can see that there's 2 dots here because they're blending a lighter color. So it goes from using 2 dots in these areas to just using a little bit of space in between. It's the little choices like that. And hi Rodrigo, welcome in the stream, welcome in. I hope you've been well. And let me slide this back in. And I don't know if I said hi to you earlier, Beatus, but welcome in X2 if so, and if not, welcome in for the first time. I hope all your weeks have been wonderful so far. Have you considered taking a blink instead? A blink is my favorite blink. I can't even say what you're saying. I like the waviness. Yeah. So technique that. Now, I'm not sure if I would count this as dithering, but you know what? I'm going to count it as dithering. D-I-T-H-E-R-N-G. And dithering is a way not only to blend things together, but also a way to add texture. And I would argue it's dithering, even if it's not a checkerboard pattern, because it's taking areas with two different colors, so this color and this color, and it's blending these areas with certain patterns. So there's kind of like a wavy pattern here, a wavy pattern here between the 2 colors. You can kind of see a little bit of anti-aliasing here, then a bit of dithering in this area, how it's mixing these 2 wavy areas. I would call that dithering, I'd say. And I've never seen a dithering pattern quite like it. And dithering doesn't have to be checkerboard. Yep, that's 100% AVM. It's just most commonly checkerboard. So when it's not used in checkerboard, a lot of people don't see it as dithering. That's what I meant by that. As I'm zooming in here, for example, I'd say this is dithering here, as well as this bit here. It's the idea of using, and the thing is, I don't even know if dithering has to be patterns, but I usually consider dithering when there's a certain pattern going on. Even if if it's not checkerboard. I would consider this area here dithering, this area here dithering, even here where you can see bits kind of moving in and different patterns reveal the material. Yeah, I really do like this. And another thing too is that dithering is often used for texturing. And I definitely think there's texturing going on here. Now, I'm not too sure what type of texturing. I'm guessing this is supposed to be more so leather, but I don't know if it feels like leather, but I like the way it feels. I like the way it feels, so it doesn't really quite matter on if it's realistic. I like the look of it. And I see dithering more like warped and stretched checkerboard patterns. Interesting one. Huh, you would still consider this a warped checkerboard pattern, you'd say, Avient, as I do this here, dithering. I do like the dithering. Another thing I like is how there's like, there's reflective bits, so shiny, S-H-I-N-A-Y, shiny parts on the scales. There we are, shiny parts on the scales. Specifically what I'm talking about is, I like how in these areas here, there's a little bit of light going on. It's not a lot because this area here is the main color in this area, but by adding those bits around in the darker blue, it kind of gives off a shiny reflective feel, which I really like. It's very subtle, I'd say, but especially when you zoom out, it becomes a lot more oomph in your face. And JJ, huh? And I highlight, and I see the warp just highlight. Ah, I see, you're calling it a highlight then, and I don't know what that word means, but we're all good there. Yeah, anything else of note, I'd say? I guess another thing to note is that maybe we can say for highlights and shadows, how many colors are being used? And whoops, keyboard not working. I see, no worries at all, no worries. One more thing I want to talk about as I'm closing a few tabs here to make things easier to see. Let me close and keep that guy open, lovely. Dithering is a reflection of the sentiments and beliefs you have as a human. How specific, my? Oh my. I want to go over one more thing here. And that's color usage in terms of how many colors are being used for shading, how many colors are being used for lighting. For example here, to describe this leather vest, leather, not even jacket, overcoat, trench coat, yes, but I am human. What you can see here is that there's one color for the highlight, one color for the medium, one color for the dark area. Do we see the same thing, for example, for the shirt? We see one color for the highlight, one color for medium, one color for dark, one color for extra dark. So there's 3 colors here, 4 colors here. To describe the tie, we see one color, I label this as 2 colors. 2 colors, one color for blue and then there's like a darker blue. For the walkie-talkie, how many colors? I'm trying to see if there's a pattern. If there isn't, that's okay too. The idea is just, is there something going on here, a method to the madness? What you can see here is that there's one color for the highlight, one color for the medium, one color for the darkness. So this has, and one color for an extra highlight. So 4 colors here, and 4 colors in the walkie-talkie. Yeah, I completely didn't see the highlight. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 colors for the walkie-talkie. For the fish itself in the blue areas, how many blues are they using? They're using 1 highlight, 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting, and Slimmy talking. Of course, the Slimmy talking. Glasses taco. Can do. Let me get that clock on here, and welcome back in the stream, Cole. Welcome back in. Let me go for the clock here as I open up the sky. Yeah, it's interesting. So there's not a pattern going on as I open up my glasses here. There we are. Thank you for that redeem. And is that a walkie-talkie or a gun? It is neither. It's a Slimmy talkie. We just went over this, and hi, Panda McKenzie, possibly. Welcome into stream. Welcome back in, and please correct me if I'm wrong, and please say source. No, not at all. This art here is by Royal Name on Twitter. If you like the art, I suggest following him. This is a section we do at the beginning of these study streams where you take a look at people who know what they're doing. Since we're talking about fish and studying fish, we're taking a look at someone's art here for fish. And I'm not going to. Panda! That's very unkind. They did some lovely art here, and I admire it very much. And I'm hoping today to use some of their techniques. For example, I really like the way they do their dithering. I really like the way they do their dithering. So I'm gonna attempt to try to emulate that dithering area here, as I think it's very pretty. I really do like this art as a whole. And a fish on a phone. Hi, tree lover. Welcome in, stream. Welcome in. Since that timer is up, let's go ahead and talk about resources a little bit. As I go back to here, save the sky, And what I should be able to do is if I slide this guy on over to here, and I do that as well, lovely, lovely. And if I click on a few buttons here, un momento por favor, I click on you here, there we are, and fish, fellow fish hater, Oh my, I should be able to then click on here. Oh, hold on, yep, we're good to go. It's so far so good. Close you here, lovely. Go ahead and transition. Now, I can confidently say that the website is being updated very, very soon. And if you didn't know, I have a website you can go to for erisezra.com. And if I do here an exclamation study, let's see if it works out properly. Lovely, lovely, yes it does. And the hope is that in the coming weeks, this website will be updated. I don't think it'll be updated this week or no, I mean next week since this is Friday. I think probably maybe in 2 or 3 weeks, so middle of September, if I had to guess. For now, though, you're stuck with us, and the idea is that I am a game developer learning all things game development, from programming to music to voice acting to as well as art. And what we do weekly on here, once a week, is we study pixel art in hopes of not just learning pixel art for the sake of learning art, but learning how to make game assets and things of that nature. And is that a new model? It is it's new hair and clothing, Fountainian Waters, but the model is still the same. But the hair and clothing has been outdated. And welcome in the stream as well. Welcome in. I am a supporter streamer that troll and tails keeping everyone else down. It's gonna be updated soon, TM. Soon, TM, indeed. Soon, TM. Panda, well, I do appreciate your support. This channel's not about putting other people down. I don't need to put other people down to make myself shine. I just gotta shine even brighter. Oh, with that said, when you click on that link, what it should bring you to is what you can see here for resources. And there's a slew of different studies we've done in the past. We've done a lot of studies by now. And again, this is going, I keep bringing it up because I'm just so excited. It's taking a long time because I have no idea what I'm doing. But when you see it, you'll see why I'm so excited. And hi, Falcon. Welcome to the stream. Shine even brighter. Yeah. Shine like the sun, the death ray itself. What you can do is if you click on here, you'll get to the link, and this is why it's the goat. Oh my. And if we scroll down here, you can see the stream. So the idea is that oftentimes when I used to study a topic, I would spend more time gathering resources to study said thing than actually studying the thing. So the hope is that using the website here, using the resources, it collects all the gathering, I keep saying resources, it collects everything for you. That way you don't have to set time aside to study. You can just go and say, hey, I want to study how to draw fish today. Well, look at all these wonderful and helpful links. And also chat is dead. Is it dead? Oh, hold on. Thank you for that one. Hold on here. Where did chat go? Is that it? Found it. Lovely. I don't know where it went. It lives again though. And thank you. And so-called not arsonist, by the way. Exactly. And now she's so enthusiastic. I love it. Hi, Mundo or Emdo. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Welcome in, and thank you, chat. Chat it too, chat. And in order to shine, I must light myself on fire. That said, what you can see is that this is a previous stream we've done on the topic. And if you're more of a learner who learns best through watching videos, listening to people, you can see here, there is I thought I linked the right study this time. This is not the right playlist again. The website's slowly breaking down from all the changes. Oh my god. I can't say, when I said we've done previous studies before, I meant we've done previous studies on different topics before. I'll make sure to update this post stream. What it's supposed to link to, and it's unfortunate it didn't, but if I type into here animals, I can show you what it, that's not how you spell animal, A-N-I-M-A-L, hold up. This is exactly why you're getting replaced. Let me click on this guy here then. For example, a link that does work, and I have a right to type fee. Hi, Six-syllable, or Six-syllable. Please correct me if I'm wrong on the name. That does sound like a butchered it. It's the site filter for sure. It is. The site is old. It's over 2 years old. I think it's about 3 years old. You can see here, it brings you to a link depending on the certain topic. This one was talking about animals, and it's not always pixel art animals. The thing is, pixel art's such a niche topic that not a lot of times there's videos out there going over certain things. So what you have to do is you have to find videos relating to it. So for example, you might look at a painter painting on fish scales instead of looking at pixel art, because the idea is that pixel art is a transferable skill in the sense of if you learn different mediums, you can take the videos of different mediums and apply them to your pixel art. And Gilbert, Jillibur? Is that a little bit better? Jillibur? Welcome in the stream. Welcome in. And I'm gonna go play table tennis now. See ya! Well, I hope you have fun flying priest, and I hope that you win. As we click on here and go back to our sea animal study, it should allow us to click on. Yes, lovely. Aside from the playlist, there's also this website called the Writer's Resource. And Gilbert, more like Gilbert. Gilbert does sound lovely. And Brandon James Greer, also the GOAT. Brandon James Greer is lovely. I can say that 100%. Along with the pixel artist YouTubers, there's also this website here called the Writer's Resource. If I had to attribute my skills with pixel art and learning and getting better, I can 100% say confidently that this website here has helped me do it. The idea behind this website is, for example, say you wanted to make something like the pixel art of the day. This guy here. If you wanted to learn how to make this, where would you start? How would you go? And pixel art canvas size is super duper important. So it becomes a thing of, do you have to zoom in and kind of guesstimate how many pixels is going on here? Do you have to download the image, then downscale it, then upscale it by a certain percentage? You could. You definitely could. But a lot of the times, either you can't, you don't know how, or you don't want to, which are all good reasons. So the idea behind the website like the Writer's Resource is that people upload the assets of different games that they enjoy. For example here, take a look at this coins guy. Say I wanted to draw a coin like this. What I can do is click on this download button here, and if I do so as, I don't have to click on the download button, I can just drag and drop, but you'll click on the download button here, and if I drag it into my pixel art program of choice, in my case, I use Aseprite. And if we drag it into Aseprite here, what you'll be able to see is that we have, hold on, if I hide this guy right about, nope, not that guy, this guy, lovely, you can see that the art has been added. And now I can say confidently, if I were to just remove the back layer here, let's see, convert to, yep, I'm looking for specifically turning off this background layer, as it's a thing that Aseprite does sometimes. Let's use RGB. So why can't I remove this green, I wonder? If I right click you, convert to, I see, convert to layer. Now it doesn't have the little underline underneath it. And congratulations on a 7-stream streak, Proto Gems. Congratulations, thanks for watching this much. As I remove this guy here, you can see specifically that this coin here is about 16 by 16. I wouldn't have thought 16 by 16. It looks a lot bigger than that. But now that I know it's 16 by 16, I can kind of scale my art a little bit more around it. Maybe I want to go smaller. Or maybe I want to try making the yellow here, or, actually, maybe what I want to do, and this is the fun part of it, maybe I want to experiment. For example, maybe I can take this yellow color here and I think to myself, okay, I know that darker colors tend to be a little bit more on the orangey side. What if I made the shadow like this orange and you filled it in? You're able to do trial and error. You're able to test things. Maybe, for example, you say to yourself, okay, what if this art looked like, what if it had like a dark brown outline instead of a black outline? It gives it a different feel. So it allows you to make a sandbox of different artwork from different games, get inspiration to understand things, and get better at your observation. And through your streams, thought your stream died for a second? Did it? That's no good. I know the weather is a little bit messed up at the moment, so I'm hoping at the very least we don't run into any interruptions, but we'll see. And hi, Neville. Welcome back in the stream. Welcome back in. That said, not only is there Writer's Resource as I close this guy right here, there is also this guy here. And also, you'll see that there's a list of different games. These games here have sea animals in them. So if you're looking for games that you can download that have sea animals, for example, here we have Traveler's Rest. If I click on this guy, you'll notice that there is a fish section here. For example, we have crabs. We have a crab. I could have swore they had fish, but crabs technically are sea animals, so they count. I'm sure there's fish here somewhere. I just can't. Here we are. Item icon. Isn't this it? Yeah. Take a look at the lovely art from Traveler's Rest. I do want to take a look at it more in detail sometime soon, but you'll see here. Take a look at all these wonderful fish. You can download this and then take a good look at it. For example, we have a bass here. Now, granted, we aren't drawing items, we're drawing the actual fish itself, but if you're looking on how to study and how to draw items, this could be some good reference. And look at this octopus right there. How adorable. And the crabby the fish. The timer is up, so let me go ahead and get off the glasses here. And with that said, another thing is that if you are a game developer, you probably know about itch.io. And hi, Wakages. Welcome in the stream. Welcome in. A new outfit. Yeah. Also new hair. Welcome in. I hope you do enjoy it as I click on this guy here. What you'll see is that if you're a game developer, you probably know about itch.io. It's a place where you can download games, upload games, and also download assets to put into your games. However, have you considered as a pixel artist using this for reference? For example, maybe you want to learn how to draw these water enemies here, and you want to learn how to animate a jellyfish to do a little wiggle. Well, you can also download assets off of here and drag them into your Pixelart program of choice. It's another just resource that's not just a Sprite resource, but you can find free assets on here to look at. In this case, I do want to give credit. This is by, let's see, where's the name at? Arthur. Free game assets, GUI sprites, and tile sets. Isn't that neat? I do think it's lovely, and not little notes. Yes, indeedy. So there is itch.io as well as the Sprite resource. That will be my 2 recommendations for places to go, and you'll see here I also have some links here for different. And this guy here, do you have fish? I don't know if you have fish. This looks entirely different. Yeah, this might have gotten updated, and now it doesn't have the fish. I'll have to double check back here. Does this one bring us to, let's see, yeah, sea animal, fish? You're not correctly fish. I will fix that. Right now, the website's going through so many changes, but with that said, yes, we have talked about all of the resources, and fish, fish and crab. Let me click on this guy here, click on this guy here. That said, if you happen to kill the fish, all the fish are gone. Poor fish. Oh my. Let me go ahead and bring you back into the planning screen. If you so happen to draw some pixel art of fish you'd like to share, feel free to post it on the Discord and we'll take a look at the end of stream. For example, here if I do exclamation DISCORD, like so, what you'll see as I enable this guy here is that you're in the Discord. You'll navigate from the welcome screen all the way down to Pixelart Study with me, and what you'll notice is that these are all, well, not all of them, but these are a lot of the previous studies with me we've done. And the thing is, even if we haven't covered that topic recently, say you draw a monster tomorrow and you want to share it, feel free to also post it here, as the idea is that, again, we can use our observation skills on one another and figure out what we really enjoy about the art and apply it to our own. For example here, now this lovely attack animation of a pumpkin. And what you'll see as well is that if I go back to the top, at the very top is pinned sea animals, so you can post your sea animals. And some new art that was posted here too is Rodrigo. And not sea animal, but a turtle. I give this a pass. And I think this is lovely too. I see water, close enough. Close enough indeed. I really like the way you did the plants and the foliage here with the highlights and the green bits. And I really like the way you did the rocky texture specifically on the turtle here. I think it's adorable. And I think you did a wonderful job, Rodrigo. And I think since last I've seen your art too, I think you've been improving quite a lot as well. So well done, well done. And ain't that a tortoise? I think, technically speaking, it is whatever you want it to be as an art. Okay, you could say this is a lion, and it could be a lion in that case. I think there's an argument for it. And Mimi, no. Imagine on the back of it, it's just lion, like a little sticky note on it. As I click on this guy here. That said, we have covered Pixel Art of the Day, we've covered resources. Now let's get into drawing, but before that, let's do a quick recap of what we did last time. As I click on this guy here, and I click on this guy right here, what you can see is this area here. This is the draw section. Now, we have very recently gone over different creatures. For example, this was the final version of my crib that we drew. So we've drawn crab. We've also drawn octopus here, the final version of the octopus as I think remove this guy here. Yep, this was the final version of the octopus, and it's Eris's baby pictures. I was not a baby octopus. We also have here a sea turtle that we did last time. So this is the last version of the sea turtle, and we spent the entire stream doing the sea turtle that we didn't get to other animals. So I figured maybe from now on we just do one subject, do one thing. And I got some help too from a member of the community, Ed, who suggested that as well. Some sort of ongoing series instead of doing random, or we have been doing a lot of different topics of the same thing, but what if we were to do a collection of different sprites that relate to each other? So for example, today we're going to do a fish, and the fish can get added to an aquarium of all the previous pictures, or I don't say pixels, pixels of the, words are hard, the fellow pixel art that we've done in the past. I quite like that idea of having a big canvas of previous sprites that we've studied. Instead of trying to draw multiple at the same time, we can we can spend time dedicating to certain topics. I do like the idea of that. And only one victim. How merciful! There are no victims! And breathe, can
Check 14,
and
just redeemed, breathe.
Alright then, well, you'll want to take a deep breath in. Hold it! And take a deep breath out. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. Then take a deep breath out. One more time. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. And then take a deep breath out. There you go. Don't you feel relaxed? And pictures. Yeah, pictures. So, I think, are going to draw a herring. See how that goes. The idea is that we'll try drawing it on our own. And I think we'll either do a 32 by 32 herring. Maybe we'll try 16 by 16. But we're not going to go too big for our herring. I don't think it's needed. And Bobby Key, what door does he unlock? He's supposed to be a tadpole. Bobby Key. Let me go ahead and make a new layer here. We're going to call this the fish layer, as it should ought to be. And then we're going to go back to PureF here. And if I click on that guy, and that's a Bobsquito. That's even more cursed. He doesn't. Hold on. Bobsquito, you say check? Hold on. Let me just there, Bobsquito. We're keeping that. Let me bring you back into peer up here. Oh my, as I click on this guy here, click on and I zoom out, you'll see that I've collected different images of real life creatures. Let's drag the herring guy over here. So this is what a herring looks like. Bobby needs your blood. Oh, no. It's only for the female mosquitoes that need your blood. Thankfully, he does not need your blood for he is male. Oh my. Here we have a herring. This looks like a cooked herring. And I tried my best to find a live herring. It wasn't the easiest. We have some on ice. We have one that's been picked up. I'm not sure the status of it, but we do have one image here I was able to find. And I'm noticing right away that the herring is quite long. He's got a long body. I'm also noticing that it's kind of got like this silvery side to the bottom of it, and then it's got like a black strip. Now, granted, this guy here has like a green going on. It's a painting, so it's not too much you can reference from, but I do like the colors of it. But it's got like a long strip here at the very top, and then a white underbelly, it seems like. So as long as we keep with that idea of long white strip, maybe 3 colors. You can see here, there's like a pink part here and then a blue part here. But then this guy here, it's got 2 colors. And I transferred with Bobby Skeeto White. He's always been male. Let me zoom in here. And with that said, yeah, so where shall we start? I'm thinking at least we can take the physique, the proportions of this guy, then possibly apply all the colors that we see here and go from there. It seems to be the case this guy has a big, he's in our hearts. You can see a big eye here. Yeah, let's start off by using these 2 images. I think are our best shot. This is a really good side profile, so I want to go with this one here, since I guess it's hard to photograph it directly from the side face down, since if it's alive, it's moving. So I can see why it wouldn't be the case that it is very flat. So I'm going to grab this guy here. Then we're going to go to this guy here. Let me then go to you here. Where are we at with PRF here? There we go. And then we have you here. There we go. And I will drag you here, drag these guys around here. Hold on, if I drag you over like that, lovely. And then I'm gonna drag you here, and then I'm gonna drag you here. A lot of dragging has to be done. And then we'll make sure that you are always on top here, beautiful. And then I'll go ahead and also move you to here, I'd say, to make it easier to see. I'll move this guy to where I can see it. And then if I go ahead and just drag this guy to here, you should be able to see the reference a lot easier as I drag this guy down a little bit more. Lovely. Alrighty then. Let me zoom out here. Now, step 1 is figuring out the shape of our fish. It seems to be some sort of oval, possibly, as I right-click this guy and click on draw here. Yeah, I can see an oval, possibly. For example, an oval is like this, and then there's like this. And granted, it's not a very pretty oval, but it's kind of like an oval. Maybe you could also say it's like partial U and dragging dragon. Oh my. Maybe what you can also say is something like this, right? It's kind of got a flat base, and then it's like a half cup. I can see that. It's like a mini half cup. If I just do a straight line here, and then just do a, yeah, I think we go with that shape. Because then we can add this kind of small triangle at the very edge to add a little bit of top. Yeah, let's go with that shape. A ramen noodle bowl. So let me go ahead and close you here. We'll do 32 by 32, as I think that's a good fit. We'll grab a random color here as a dark color, and since it's sore on the blue side, I'll actually go for like a darker blue, just as a starting point. As you can see here, what we did last time is we took some colors, took some blocks, figured out the shape. Once you figure out the shape and structure, then you go from there. So we'll do that there. With that said, yes, we'll do 32 by 32. See how well that fares. I'm looking for the area where our mouse is. It's about up here, I'd say. And if I do a draw on here, where are we at? We're about up here. Lovely. And I'll do a zoom in about here. And that's a watermelon slice! I wonder if someone's drawn a fish as a watermelon. There's so many different combinations. The thing is, too, is that I do want to, I don't know if soon or not, but I'd love to do a mini-series streaming of where we design some Pokemon. It was suggested to do a Poke Evolution of Bobby, which I think could be a lot of fun. Just talking about character design and looking at some character design in Million Fish. Yeah, Million Fish. Let's go ahead and do the sky. I'd say probably can get away with doing something here. And thing is, we could probably also use our, where are we at? It should be over here. Let's use our, what is it called? A ruler, possibly? Symmetry tool. Let's just call it the symmetry tool. And the MP4. Let's use our symmetry tool here, as it's pretty symmetrical, I'd say. Though, granted, there's a lot of fin going on right here, and I do want to have a big fin. So what we might actually do is slide this guy over by like a little bit, and then maybe we'll save this bit here for the fin. About there, maybe, and then we'll have the fin kind of go here. Maybe we'll add a little bit more about there-ish, I think is pretty good. And then we'll slide this guy over, and I think that's just about it. So let's see. Yeah, we'll do that area there. He is quite long, though. And hi, Noah. Welcome in the stream. Welcome in. Hi, and welcome in. I hope you've been well. I hope your wing's gone wonderful so far. Let's then go ahead and do our little bowl here, as I do a little bit of a round shape, something like this. Well, not too long, but something about here. Oh, hold on. I accidentally did that. There we go. Something a little bit on the rounder side. I think this could work. Something like that. Granted, it's flat, but that's okay. That's all right. We're getting there. So I'm going to copy this bit, if it lets me. Copy you. Then I want to slide you down. And then let's continue the shaping. So we have this bit here. Then we know we have the bit at the top. I'm going to make this a different color here, since it's going to be kind of like our accent. So I'll just make this like a lighter gray. That way we can see it. And we're going to go ahead. And it seems to be the case of kind of like that there, and we can't really use the symmetry tool. What I'm noticing, at least you can kind of see, is if I do a draw on here and I use a different color like this, like the screen here, what you notice is that it kind of goes halfway and then it goes back down, and when it goes down even more. If I could draw, it goes down even more to the fin, something like down there. So we need to do about halfway here, I'd say, and then go down a little bit more. So probably should go like a sloped bit there, maybe as the idea, possibly. So make this guy kind of go sloped downwards, maybe not as super sloped, maybe something like this here. Have this go down a little bit more, something like that I think can work in our favor here. Something like, maybe that can be the sloped bit. Again, this is just the base, so we don't have to worry too much about getting it perfect right away. Another thing I can see is that we have some fins. So if we draw the fins, what I'm noticing is, as I grab another color, let's do green. For the fins here, as I'm making sure the color is visible, I see at least this guy looks like a diagonal line, so possibly we could do something like that there. And then it goes along the back, so possibly it can go like this here, maybe for our fin part. And then we can have this guy go across. We can modify this later, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But I'm thinking at least possibly something like that. It's very tall, and it kind of goes back a little bit more, so maybe we can modify it to account for that area there. But for now, I'm gonna keep it like this. Then we have that bottom fin we can see, so let's see if we can add that bottom fin. It's about directly the same as this guy here in terms of location, but it's smaller. So let's try to make it smaller as I undo this guy here, undo. So let's see. It's a little bit smaller, so let's try doing about here, possibly. Maybe we can go for something like that there, where it's got a long area here, and then it kind of goes like that there, possibly. Again, doesn't matter too much. For our eye here, we can possibly get away with doing, I do kind of like the idea of doing like a circle eye, something silly like that. And is that a rainbow trout? It is a herring. And, well, I didn't say welcome to you already. Yep, this is a herring. When I Googled herring, this is what popped up. So right now, we're drawing a little herring. Now, we could do a big eye, we could do a small eye. I kind of think maybe we do this size eye. Could change later, could definitely change later. Another thing is we can see that there is kind of this, you could call it a rectangle, kind of like a slanted rectangle right near the fin. So what we'll do here to make things a little bit easier on us is we'll carve out, I think, a little bit here. And the thing is, he looks quite squished and long. So maybe we can squish him down by like a little bit here. Then move him over to here. And now we have a little bit more space, hopefully, for our fiends. And he ain't hearing none of this. He ain't hearing none of this. The puns have officially started. And it looks like a fish to me. Sweet. I'm thinking here at least we could see. No! Oh no. We'll slide this guy over by like a little bit, I think, as this is going to be our tail area. Tail area bit. And then we have this guy go up. It seems like this is pretty symmetrical. So let's grab our symmetry tool again. Fish officially is airing. Fish. Oh my. We'll make this guy go up so I can see it a little bit more. So we'll slide you up to about, I'd say here. That way we can get it on screen. And I'm going to do even, since it's about even here. So it's about, I'd say halfway could be about there-ish. We can then maybe see about having this guy as it's kind of narrow. So maybe we can have it kind of go this way. We'll modify it later, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Just needs to be something that we can use a little bit later. And the fin actually is also, mine is bigger, but that's okay. It's all right, as we can always modify it. I'm just getting down the feel and the idea. So our other fin here seems to be about, I'd say here, and then we kind of have it slanted, and then this guy kind of comes out a little bit, and then it kind of goes down. So something like that. And what you can notice already is that, yeah, our fish it's not very long. And this is what it looked like making a police sketch for Nemo. Oh my, I think I'm calling him Hamilton. He's a fish non-stop. We're gonna move this guy, I think, back here a little bit more. Possibly see about making this guy a little bit longer. The thing is, I want to add an outline. So we're gonna see about this guy here and then maybe making him longer here. This might be the best we're going to get for 32 by 32. I would ideally want to make him longer about here, I think would be best. But given what we're going for with ratio-wise, let's keep it here for now. Truth be told, if we want to make it bigger than 32, we can. There's nothing stopping us but our limitations. So I'm going to copy this guy here. With that said, we can kind of now start filling in areas and making sure the bits here are fleshed out a little bit more as I drag this guy up here. So color-wise, let's see. Let's keep it on the clearer side. You can see here at least that there's a lot of silvers going on for this guy. So I'm thinking probably silver. We can maybe go for like a dark kind of steel color, I'm thinking. And why does Bro look like a shiny Veluza? Veluza. Hold on, let me copy this guy here. I'm oh so curious. Veluza. Oh! I see. I haven't seen that Pokemon before. I wonder if I have him in the references. You can see here. This is what Check is talking about. I have never seen this fish before. It's adorable though. I think it's quite cute. Oh, you said shiny, right? Hold on, Veluza. Shiny? What's the shiny one look like? It's green. Oh, you know what? I see your point. I take it back. I was about to say it looks nothing like it. And he's new gen. I see. I guess I'm too old school for that. Need to get hip and cool. Let me zoom out here, slide this guy back to here. Let me click on this guy, and then we should be good to go. Close this guy here. Yep. Can't use you, unfortunately. There we are. And can you make a rope fish? A rope fish? Hold on. I'm curious to see what this is. What is a... Woo! He's like a little eel. Oh, that's adorable. We won't be making eel-like creatures, but that could be a fun study to do. I don't know if we've done a snake study, but this is a rope fish. It is quite adorable, I can say. It's quite cute. Let me zoom back into you here, and let's see. With that said, I can also close this guy here just so I don't have too many tabs open. And let me also make sure YouTube is still good to go. It isn't 3D. Okay. Let's click on here. With our fish layout, we can start to kind of chip away at it. For example, what I'm thinking is that we can kind of have this blue color. It's a white. This is going to be our white. We could also make this our white, but it's a bluish white. That's the hope here, is that it's not white. It's more of a blue, soft bluish white. What I'm thinking then is that this is going to be at least the underside. So this is going to be the highlighty areas. And then we're also going to need some silvery color. So I'm actually going to do this here and then erase that guy here. So we kind of have our light color here, our a little bit darker color. Let's then go down a little bit. Make sure to hue shift. I usually like going a little bit down to the right. And then also sliding this guy over a little bit. That could be a darker color here. And then we also have this guy here go down a little bit more. We'll do probably one more color here and then one more darker color here. Probably that color as our 4 colors. And what I can show you as well is that if we were to toggle on our grayscale here, we can see that these guys all have different colors. They're very different, which is good. We don't want the colors to be too similar to one another as it's supposed to make the fish pop. And I did that. Oh my, that's already, my goodness. And I can see as well as that I'm using a plugin, and I do need to make some sort of command, I think, to show the plugin I'm using. But if you'd like to do what I just did, toggle the grayscale on and off, you can use Aseprite's built-in feature. And hi, the Alpha Yak. Welcome in the stream. Welcome in, and welcome back. Good afternoon, Eris and chat here. Sure, welcome in. I hope you've been well. If I click on here and we go to, let's see, Sprite. You click on Sprite, go to color mode, and you set the color mode here to grayscale. What you can see is that it also sets it to grayscale. However, be warned and be very careful with this, as if I were to save this and close it, it would forever be into grayscale. I would lose all of this to grayscale. So make sure if you do this method, have a backup or do something else. There's another way I know that there is to do grayscale. If I click on this guy here, I believe there's a way to do it down here. I'm not too sure. But there's another way to set it up to just be a layer instead. But I'm using a plugin that automatically does it, so I can just toggle on and off with a button. And for me, I like using a lot of contrast. That's why we want to do this. The hope is making colors different enough apart where we don't have to worry about them getting a little bit muddy. I would describe it as muddy when colors are really similar to each other. For example, if I were to grab this gray guy here, so grab this guy here super duper quickly, slide him over a little bit, change him to be, if I go back to this guy here, this is technically a different color, right? That's technically a different color. We could even go a little bit lighter here and go up here. This guy here, also different color. But it's a lot brighter. And if I use grayscale, for example, this guy here, it's different, but it's a little bit hard to see compared to the background. And this guy definitely is super hard to see. So in this case, I would stay away from using these colors because they're harder. There's not a lot of contrast. However, they aren't bad if that's what you're going for. If you're going for something that needs to blend in well together, you want low contrast. Since I want these features of the fish to pop out, we need a lot of pop. We need a lot of contrast. So instead, I would choose a color that is a lot darker or a lot brighter. For example, here, that color there is a lot darker if I move that guy to here. And it's a lot more noticeable than the other two. So I would use a color like that. Make the colors pop a lot more compared to blending in, if that is what you're going for. What I can say is that an example of where you would want to do low contrast is if I go back to my turtle here, what you can say is that for areas around this bit here, it's not very noticeable on the differences. A lot of the colors here, again, not very noticeable, and that's because I was trying to blend in colors. I was making a gradient. So for like a gradient, low contrast is a-okay. And hi, Brunchless, welcome to the stream, welcome in. And late today, but I've been excited for this one. Well, welcome to the stream, welcome in. And wait, there's a grayscale on Aseprite? Yes, indeedy, Noah. Yes, indeedy. You go to, let me see if I can remember how to do it. Sprite, you can then go to color mode and click on grayscale. It does it. However, again, it does not make a layer, so be very careful. I use a plugin to do it for me, but there is a way to do it intuitively in Aseprite. As I click on this guy here to bring it back up to speed. So with my colors here, I think I also want to go for like a darker color or darker medium for our very top. So what I'm thinking of doing is going for like maybe a darker blue here. Maybe we then can slide it up to be here. It's kind of like a dark black, wouldn't you say, on the very top here. So these are kind of like our whites. And then I want to get something that's more of like a charcoal here. So can we get that color? It's probably going to be something in that area. Yeah, I'd say probably this color here would be more of our zone. So darker blue. And looking at these guys here, can toggling the grayscale, how much darker is this? That guy's pretty dark. Can we get a little bit darker? As I slide this guy, do a little bit more hue shifting, we can get even darker here. But notice how this dark here is just about as dark as that guy. Is that what I want? I think so. I think it's all right. And we'll grab one more darker here and make it probably that dark here as we're sliding over into our purples. Do these darks, you see how they're not quite different. So maybe I can drag this guy a little bit darker and go for here. Possibly, maybe we can make this guy a little bit lighter to give it a little bit of a difference about here. There we go. It's not too different between these two, but I'm okay with that. It's dark enough. We could even go here to make it super dark. So these guys don't have a lot of contrast, at least these two, but that's okay. I think this is fine. And with that said, ad breaks are about to start, so we'll let the ads play. When we come back, we'll continue. Don't worry if you happen to get ads. I won't do anything. We'll just sit here and chat for a little bit, do some stretches. So just sit back, relax, and thank you all for sticking through the ads. So I click on the ad break here. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Oh boy, I can say as well. Let's see. What can I say? The fish study today, I do want to do a shark study, that's for sure. I also want to do a sea turtle study, but I do think maybe next week, well, next week is the draw together, isn't it? I'm making bowling in Godot. Oh, how fun! I do wish you luck, Venus. I'm not a big fan of bowling as going in person, but I have seen fun bowling games. For example, the Wii bowling was always really fun when you accidentally just had the bowling ball go behind and everyone just started jumping and turning. Is that any matter? Hi, Roxy. Welcome in stream. Welcome in. No, it is not. However, I do have new hair and clothing, but the model stays the same. It's just the hair and clothing got changed. I'm glad you noticed. Yeah. Hair shake. Neat look. As I get a little bit of water here while we're waiting. And the darks are about as different as emo faces, 14 years old and 15 years old. It looks good. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Let me get a little bit of water here. Tasty, yes indeedy. Alright then, yeah. I think these are the colors in new dripping wig. It's not a wig! It's a hairstyle! I'm not bald! Oh my! Maybe it could be fun too when we do end up doing the evolutions. Can I turn myself into a Pokemon? Could I be Pokemonified? I've seen it before where people take characters and either turn them into Pokemons or my singing monsters. The one I remember very vividly was someone who took the Digital Circus, the amazing Digital Circus. They took that game and then they turned them into monsters for my singing monsters. It was a lovely video just talking about character design. And ooh, that's a good idea, isn't it? And hi, Eska. Welcome to the stream. Welcome in and welcome back. I hope you've been well. And if anything, one of my daughter's first words to me was bald. Did she do the Neptune thing of just pointing on bald? That's adorable to think about. Oh my, that's so sweet. How cute. Let me get a little bit more water here while we're waiting. And are you gonna be that as well? Lovely. Yeah, I wonder, the templates, would the evolution just be Timmy turns into Tim, turns into Tom? 3 evolutions? She's good people. Adorable people. The templates evolution. Timmy played, and then because he's an adorable little baby. And then Tim played, moderate, and then Tom played. He gets a job. And now she pat my head a bunch though, and it was like a little bongo. How cute. Oh my, she's so sweet. She sounds like it. I believe you were the one that said yeah. Were you the one that had the daughter that was making the game with you? Or am I thinking of something different? But I do remember a daughter. Oh my, and we're back from the ad break. Welcome back from the ad break. Let me get some water here and then we can continue. Water has been consumed and she was dazzled by the shine and share. Oh, it's so sweet. Let me grab my pen here as I'm making sure this guy is closed off and we're good to go. Lovely, like a little moth. How cute. Let me slide this guy over here. Slide this guy back over to here and I'm just doing this guy. What I'm thinking is at least we'll keep this top strip as our dark guy and then the bottom strip as our light guy. And looking at our little fish here going back, and her assistance to my software development career has been slamming my poor Mac keyboard because lights. The RGB shiny. Oh, that's too cute. Oh my. Well, we slide this here, and I think we're good to go. Oh, and then we'll slide this bag to here. Yep. Okay, so let's see. As I slide this bit to here, this is our area. I'm actually going to grab all of our fish color. Let me just, okay. Grab all of our fish colors here. We'll make this into our palette layer. So we'll slide you back to being there. There we go. That way I can see all the fish colors. And then let's go ahead and add a little bit of color. Not a lot of color, we're just doing the base color. Still not committing to anything, just suggesting ideas subtly and very obviously. So if I go back to you here, what I'm going to do and what I'm going to start off by doing is making all this top area our gray color here. For our fins, the fins are kind of like a green in this image. For the fins here, they're kind of like a light gray that's kind of yellowish. So maybe we do need another set of colors, like a yellowish green possibly. Maybe. Let's go back to here for our palette and let's see what we can do for fin colors as I slide this guy. I thought I'd be able to slide this guy. There we are. I just want to slide you up just a little bit. Just want to have a talk. And I click on you here. And what I'm thinking is at least some sort of green color, greenish yellow. So if we go up to here, we can kind of go maybe for a greenish yellow like this, but I don't quite like it. It's like more of a brown, I'd say. Greenish, yellow, brownish. So maybe that color can work. We can also go a little bit lighter here, maybe towards our yellows, and go for something like that there. I'm looking at these areas, that space, so maybe we can go for something here, go for a little bit more down. I'm thinking of basing it off of orange because blue and orange are complementary. So the hope is that by keeping it around orange, it's going to look nice together. Since we have some sort of orange sprouts next to some blues, hopefully the hues decide, yeah, I like the feel of that. So we'll do these 3 colors for now temporarily, and we'll go back to here. Let's go ahead and start coloring this guy in. As one thing I want to do is first start off by having this color here as it is our normal color. And this is going to be, yeah, this is our normal. Actually, technically speaking, I think you're our normal color, and then this is the highlight, and this is the dark color. For our normal color for the fish base, and I'm thinking it's probably that color there. We could also probably get away with doing, yeah, let's do this color here for our normal color. Let's then see about for our fiends. Now, see, the thing is, you can notice that these 2 colors here are very similar. So if I were to make all of our green into that color, it's going to be kind of hard to spot the difference between the 2. So in this case, you would want to either go darker or lighter to give it a chance of popping out. And I think in our case here, probably this kind of brownish color. Is there another orangey tone we can kind of do? Maybe something here, a little bit less sharp, maybe something here instead. And looking at these guys, it's definitely a little bit darker, so maybe we can go for a tone like this. But I'm not too sure. For now, let's do this sort of muted color. I think that works out a little bit better. And thank you to Amanta, maybe. Welcome in the stream. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Please correct me if I'm wrong on the name. I most likely butchered it. I tend to do that very often, but welcome in regardless. As I slide back down to this here. So we have our fish and Malanta. Oh my, you can say the Atlantic. Oh, we'll go ahead and then add a little fish bottom here. And what I'm seeing is too, there's kind of like dark bits here. You can see dark here and then dark here, and then the silver kind of goes there. So what I'm thinking is likely what we'll do is add it in here, and then we'll also add it in here. So we'll do it for these 2 spots, and then likely say while adding in possibly like that, I think would work out in our favor, something like that maybe, and have it kind of come down. So it looks like it goes downwards. Maybe that's the pattern we can go for. Well, with that said, next up is kind of smoothing out our edges here where there's a lot of steps going on, and also adding some outlines for certain areas. So we're going to copy you here, fish. I'm actually going to drag you down to here, and then I'm going to copy you and move you up to here. That way we can kind of get an overview of all our different fish, and then I'll save you here. And with that said, now it's time to start adding a little bit of detail. What we're going to start off by doing is doing the little mouth here. I think the mouth is super important. So we'll zoom in here a little bit to get a little bit more view of the mouth. And it seems to be the case that the mouth kind of has this round bit, and then the mouth also goes open. So can we get that? Can we describe that? I'm going to grab our darker color here, or we could grab this color here for an outline. And for now, I'm thinking probably this color here is okay. And what I want to do is see about adding this area here. So I want to go for something that's slanted and then kind of cuts down and around. So kind of like this curl bit here. Can that be added? I'm not too sure. That's the hope of trying. So I'm thinking at least we can make this guy go, down by like a little bit more so that the fish head kind of comes, yeah, something more like that there. Then drag our eye probably here or down here, maybe. We'll see. Because this guy kind of goes down, so maybe sorts of something like that there, maybe. Possibly. Actually, I don't like it. Looks like a little shark, I can say at least. We'll make sure to bring these guys over by sliding it 1 here because I want to try to get that outline. So for now, we'll just do this black outline as our darkest one and make it all the outline. That way I can get a better idea of the lip. So I'm thinking this is the bottom lip here, and it can kind of go down. Maybe then this here is the, hold on, like that there for the bottom lip. Maybe we can have it kind of sliding down here, so something like this here. Maybe kind of come down here and have it come down here as our lip, and then this bit here is going to be our last area. Probably have it come down for 2 and 3. The hope is that, for stepping at least and going up and down, when you're doing lines like this, you usually want to either go up by 1 or down by 1. So you wouldn't go 1, 3, 4, 2, and then like that. That can work. The rule of thumb I usually follow, though, is I would go 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then maybe bring it down to 2 again, and then you could do 3. So you either want to go up by 1 or down by 1. It tends to produce smoother lines. However, again, just because it's a rule of thumb doesn't mean it's the rule. It's the rule of cool here, and it's just a suggestion. And then when in doubt, maybe try that thing out. But if you like the way it looks with the alternate numbers and different colors, that's okay too. As I slide this guy to here, and let's go ahead and see about adding in our other part. I'm thinking at least maybe something here, and this guy then has to kind of come downwards. So maybe we can do something more so like that bit there. Does that look like a little mouth? It does look cute, I can say that. And then we'll have this guy kind of come up here, so possibly have it kind of come maybe that there. You know, I kind of like maybe this guy here, and then we'll do 3 possibly and have another 3. And then this bit here kind of goes along the top, and this is the hopefully going to be the mouth. And then for our eye, at least, it's kind of like a yellowish color, it seems like, and then a lot of black. So how can we do our eye is the next question, and I'm not too sure, and that's good. Oh my, we'll save this guy here. Technically, you could just do that as the eye. That is a possibility. I do like thinking, or I do like the idea of going like for a big eye, possibly. We could also go with the casual, not the casual, but the classic eye that is something like this. I do quite like the idea of doing an eye like that. And maybe we can have the eye kind of do something like this. That's technically an eye. You know, I don't know how well of an eye it is, but it's an eye. I do quite like that, I'll be honest. Oh my, we could also do perfect. Thank ya. We could also, I'm just curious to see as well, as I do like the obvious eye. There's that too, but I kind of like how big this eye is, so maybe we go for that big eye. I think we do. To make sure that we stick to it though, and stick to the sizing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this area here, move him up by 1 to give us a little bit more space, and that certainly that fits a certain aesthetic. I can't say. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more comparable to our turtle here that's just 1 dot. And if we're trying to make them similar, I don't know. My turtle's more like an alien turtle, I'd say, and then this guy here also has different eyes, and if we're trying to fit a similar style, we're past that point, but it is silly and looks violentful. How is it violent if his eye is big? If anything, he looks like he just witnessed horrors beyond his imagination. How was that violent? We'll go ahead and I think move you to here, possibly then, and then have the mouth kind of go up here, like that there, and then have it kind of go down here. Now, it's kind of like this, but I mean, I love it. Well, thank you. I like this bit here, and I do quite like it too. It's got lots of character to it, and if there's one thing I like, it's character. And we'll then add this bit here, and I'm thinking at least probably something like that there, and we'll have it come down a bit more. And again, right, steps. How can we add steps here to make it feel a little bit nicer? I'm thinking at least maybe we can do something like this. So it's 2 and then 3 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that can work. And he has seen horrors beyond his imagination. We can then see about sliding this fin bit, and when we're looking at this, we can see that it's pretty thick on both edges. So is there a way we can show that off? I was thinking of doing something like this initially, of doing something like having it go, let's see. I was thinking of doing something here, but I don't know if I like that quite well. Maybe more so like that, and then have it come down. I think that could work. I think that could possibly work. We'll see. Next up here, outside of the mouth, as I would want to add the little mouth here, this silvery bit, but I don't know if we can at the scale, so I'm going to hold it for now. What we can't do, though, is add a little fin here, something like this, and we know that it's a triangle, so likely what we can do is add a little fin, like possibly here for a little fin. I think that could work. And if that fin's going there, we'll probably have to drag this guy over, and then we're probably going to have to drag that back bit here a little bit over, hopefully. And then what we'll do here is add these lines, and let's see, how can we show off the little fin bit? That could work. That adds a little bit of sharpness. I do like that. And then this bit here, and see, the thing is, he's supposed to be long is our issue, and we don't have a lot of length to give. Maybe we can have then this guy kind of go outwards, so something like that here. Have it go out like that, possibly. No, I don't like that. Maybe have it come out here like maybe. Nah, I don't know. Take it back. I don't like that bit. Something is wrong about this area here. Let's come back to it. Since again, I definitely think this fish would... You know what? Yeah, I did say it, didn't I? Sometimes rules can be broken. Let's make you a little bit longer back here. It needs space to breathe. I think something like this is a little bit nicer. And elongate him! I think I might have to. He has to get longer. I think that's the only way this is going to work, is if we really elongate him. Oh my. We'll go ahead and close this guy here, save this guy here. We'll come back to that bottom area. Let's see about this fin area up here as I do a little bit up 2 or up 1. Let's see. Can we go up by 2 here? Maybe something like that. Maybe then something up here. Hold on. It kind of goes up immediately. So maybe we go more so something like that there, and then kind of have it go up here and then have it go like that. Possibly. Maybe we go up here and then add this little corner bit there. Maybe this bit then can be pointy. Have you slide over but like one here. No. I take it back, slide you over one here. Maybe slide all of you over here. We're not getting that look. You can kind of see it's a really slanted line. It looks almost like it's doing this, and well, that goes too straight. We need to lean over a little bit more. There's also this guy here we could do. There's also the idea of doing something like this here. Neither of those quite give us what we're looking for. I think this center one is probably our best bet. So let's go ahead and do more of a diagonal look here, something like this here. And I think possibly we'll have this guy then go up for the last one here. And that way it gives us hopefully a diagonal look, though I'm not sure how a diagonal that feels. The hope is that we just trial and error it as, yeah, something, you know what, actually, it kind of looks like a little mohawk. I think he could be a cool dude if he set his mind to it. Oh, it's adorable. I don't know if I can add a little shine here, but I can see it. We'll go ahead and save this guy here. I take it back. Let's keep it. And then we have this bit here that kind of comes over. And so for this area, I'm thinking at least maybe we can get away with adding a little bit more fish bits here. So something like that. And then we can lower down the body a little bit more about here-ish. I think that can work. And then we'll grab this. Now, question is, do we want to make the outline go across the body here? Or do we want to keep it in the outline itself? And for now, I think let's have it go across the body. So we'll have this guy go all the way to the end here. And instead of going down here, because I don't want there to be a slope, I'm actually going to go one out a little bit more. I always forget the word for it. There's a word in art where you make sure the line keeps going past something, for example, and no, not convex. Hold on, let me see if I can find the word specifically. Overlap, art rule. It's called something. Let me see if I can find it. No, forefront placing, flatness, nope, drawing. Tangent, it's called a tangent. Lovely, that's what I'm looking for. Tangent, yes, art tangent. There we go, perfect. And art tangent is where... Let me see if I can find a good image instead of... Yeah, you're good, yeah, okay. I think this explains it pretty well. It's the idea where if something overlaps with something else, you're better off shifting it to the side so that it's clear. For example, here, you can see that the chin goes into this area, then we have a chin line, and then there's like a neckline here. But if you go over to this next part, you can easily see where the chin starts, you can see where the neck bit starts here. All the lines have been shifted over, so they give everyone a place to shine, or sriracha, or sokatoa or something. That's math! I do remember the sokatoa. Or even here, you can see where the jaw connects here with the neck. How they slide it over just a little bit to give it a little bit more space. And there's no good or bad, but it is an idea you can think about. So in my case, when I'm looking at this fish here, I think of tangents in the sense of how this fin bit, if I had it just keep going down, it looks like it's part of the same body. So I'm thinking of making this go out by one more, so it doesn't look like it's attached to the fin. And why are you making up words now? Which one? Sokatoa? That one is the three words, I believe, right? Sand, tangent, cosine, or something? Or I would forget being waterboarded by the CA before I forget Sokatoa. Did you know, oh, hold on. Did you know that mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell? There's just some things you don't forget. We'll go ahead then, and for this line, I'm thinking maybe have it come down by 2 here. I did quite like that. And then what you see here is it kind of goes straight after that, this kind of decline. So maybe we actually go for 1 here, then 3, and then maybe another 3 out here to kind of elongate the body. But if we're going out by 3 here, then actually we're going to need to probably do that there. And now we have the fin bit. And I'm thinking at least if we are going out by just, just a little bit here, maybe we make it 48 by 48. Ah! No longer will you be 32 by 32 fish. I have changed my mind. We're still going to keep to the idea of limitations, but I'm just going to increase my limitations. So I'm going to move you over to here, and instead of doing it in this box, so instead of doing this box, we're going to do this box, which should give us more than enough space, I'm hoping at least. So let me go ahead and escape this guy here. We'll then go ahead and go here, and I'm really just going to use this space for length. So more so, I want to move you to about here-ish, so that we can make you a little bit longer. I don't want to make you taller. I don't think I need to. It's really just length I need to add. For example, this bit here, I want to make a little bit longer, and this bit here, I want to make a little bit longer. You can see, for example, look at the spacing between this fin and that fin. And then take a look at my fin spacing and this fin spacing. Or take a look at the spacing between this fin and that fin. Do you see where I'm going with this? So let's go ahead and start off by just making this area here a little bit longer. And hi, May. Welcome in the stream. Welcome in. Welcome back. And if you finish the fish with time, I challenge you to eat a 64 by 64 fish. I can't do these challenges on me. I've learned my limitations, and they're not a lot. They're something. I can't say that much. And you guys are learning witchcraft since the 2nd grade. But for being U.S. American and New Zealand, I'm not good at locations. We've been over this. Oh, and hello! I arrived with Popeye's spicy chicken. Did you bring enough for the class? Or at least for me. Don't worry anything about the class. What about me? And pepperoni sausage pizza? Oh, that sounds delicious. Let me slide this guy over by like a little bit more. I always have enough for you. Perfect. I'll take it then. Take your entire stock. We'll slide this guy over by I think a little bit more here. 1 more. Hey! Get your own chicken. Oh boy, we'll slide this guy over. How many do you think? Do you think this guy works a little bit better, or do you think this guy? So a little bit longer in the front. I almost think this guy works out a little bit better. It's not by much, but I think it works. So we'll elongate the front here, and now let's go ahead and elongate the back here by like a bit, maybe about here-ish, I'd say. Probably a good fit about here. Yeah, we're just adding a little bit of length here. Not a lot, but we're going to have to modify a few things now that this has been added. So now I can kind of move you over here by like 1, I think about there-ish. Yeah, or we can move you forward. I kind of like you there. I like you there. I also want to see about adding a little bit more oomph to the side here, possibly like that there. And then maybe have you come out by like 2 here, and then 1 here, and 1 here, and 1 here. How does that feel for the fin? It's okay. It feels too tall, maybe, if we add you up a bit more, like that, and then have you kind of cut more here. Maybe kind of go here a little bit and have you go point there. Ah, hold on. Maybe if we do something like that there, possibly have you kind of come over here. That gives a different fin entirely. Decide if about it in the long run or the long swim, I guess. Kind of, sort of. The hope was to make a small fish right. Sometimes, or depending on if you're going by the limitation idea, then it can, definitely. I'm going to try to keep the same height. I just want to make them wider for these areas down here. And that said, I also want to grab our initial fish idea for this bottom bit. And I'm going to go ahead and just slot you. Slot you, I'd say, probably... let's slide you over by maybe 1 more over here, about there. That way I can grab this guy. Let's just go ahead and do a little bit of surgery. Put you probably about there-ish, as the body's kind of curving in. So without the fin attached, how would the body look? If we just remove this, forget about that for a second here. How is it going to look? If we do like 3 here, possibly, so this is 4, this is 3, and then you could do another 3, and then maybe 2 about here-ish. It would probably look about like that there, I'd say, and then add these guys here. We'll modify that a little bit later. Something like that. And why is the booty flared? Huh, what do you mean, Jack? We'll then add this bit back here and kind of modify it depending on what we need. So for example here, and hi, Pala. Welcome in the stream. Welcome in, and welcome back. I hope you've been well. And that fish is seeing something scary right now. Indeed! need. It's seen some things and it needs to recover. I hope you've been well. We'll add now this bit here, and I will go ahead and add now this area kind of coming out. Possibly we can have it go, maybe slide over by 2. Maybe we can have it go up by like 1 here, have it kind of come over to here, kind of like that, and then maybe have it come inwards like that there, and have it go down to there. Possibly, and hello, Chaos Gremlin! I see no Chaos Gremlin here! Where's Holmes? Welcome in, Pneumatic! Welcome back into stream! I hope you've been well, but no! I see nothing! Not at all! As I slide this guy here, it is about to become a Bobby snack! Hold on. Let me just, grab you here. Yep, just gonna go ahead and grab this guy here, go to this layer here, paste you to here, and just gonna copy you very quickly. It's okay. We'll copy you to here, and then we're just gonna go back to our fish here and just there you go. That's what's horrifying. That's what's scaring you at the moment. And no lie! Oh my. We'll then go ahead and add or see about adding in. Let me zoom out a little bit. I'm too zoomed in. We'll add in possibly. Okay, never mind. Get it! Oh my. We'll also move the outline here, since the outline against this bit here seems to be similar, so we can kind of just add this guy here and stray. I sure can do. Thank you for that redeem, Paula. Alright then, let's start off by going to the right here, slowly but surely. And if anything cracks, breaks, snaps, or pops, or dislocates, call a doctor, call a lawyer, don't call me. I should not be liable for anything that happens. Do it your own transgression. So we'll go right here, and then we're gonna go to the left here, and then you want to go back here a little bit. And then you want to also go front here a little bit. There you are. Thank you for that redeem, Paula. Thank you. Alrighty then. So let's go here and let's see about adding possibly these guys. And now that we kind of have a little bit more area to work with, maybe we can do something more so like this. And hey, looking like me when I feel my pockets and realize my phone or keys is not in them. Oh, there's a lot of cracks, but that's normal for me. Yeah, see, the thing is, if it hurts, call the right authority. I should not be the right authority. Call a trusted adult. And what if something falls out? Just put it back in. Easy. We'll go ahead and add, I think, possibly this guy into here. And then I'm gonna have that guy kind of going there. Have that guy maybe going in here. Have it kind of going here. Maybe then have it go here. And what if it's hair that falls out? Or consult a dietitian. Oh my, we'll go ahead and then add this kind of pointy bit here. I'm thinking at least something like that, possibly. And then we have the fish bit here, so we can kind of maybe make this a little bit longer about here-ish and have it kind of come down, and then have this kind of going around here and having it go for the 1 and 1, have that guy go there, possibly have it go also here, so it's going down. Maybe something like that, and then we can kind of have this bit go. Let's see, and what if I fall out with my dietitian? Get a new dietitian! We'll then have this guy kind of go in and kind of go out, and then have it point. So I'm thinking probably that's going to be our best scenario. And have it kind of go down a little bit, kind of go in, or maybe come down a little bit here. Maybe like that is what we'll do, and then this is the halfway point. So likely, let's see. If I copy you here, and then we flip it using, what is it, Shift V, and console here. Then we move you to here. We can see about doing some of this and get a mortician. And then we do that there and that there. There we go. And I think our fin is maybe a little bit too big. So let's go ahead and lower it a little bit. We can then also move this guy in by like 1 here, like that. And then we can go ahead and copy you here. And then we can go ahead and delete you here. Let's see, delete you here. And then we flip it. This could also be a fin too. Oh, it's tricky. It's tricky. I kind of like the big fin. I'll be honest. I kind of like it. As I do this guy here, we have big fin, little fin. I guess, no, I take it back. Little fin's probably better. So we'll go for the little fin. So we'll go there. And oops, I mean a consult. Oh boy. And yeah, okay. So we're here. This is a good basis for our fish, I'd say. So we'll go ahead and copy this guy here. It's got a good outline. Now we can kind of flesh it out a little bit. So we'll copy, actually, no, we'll keep you where you are. We'll just grab all of our palettes and move you down to here. Now that we have the feel of the fish, we can kind of start to flesh things out and clean up the lines a little bit more to feel things. So what I'm thinking is, at least, and if you turn the fish 90 degrees to the right, then it stands lay on like a boot. Oh, hold on. I get what you mean. If I grab you here, copy you here, paste you here, and then rotate you 90 degrees, negative 90 degrees, there you go. Like that, you mean? I see what you're doing. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. He's getting away. Let me go and delete this guy here. Zoom back in. Let's go ahead and color our fish. So I think what's going to be really tricky is figuring out how to do the scale reflection. And I'll be super excited to see how artists do fish reflections at this size. And this fish looks like it should be pre-hooked. You might need a pole asset. No, stop it. Scope, remember scope. Oh my, I'm going to save this guy here. We'll make this guy a little bit wider, I think. And we could possibly add an outline here. Maybe something like that there for a little fiend, something like that. And I'm keeping some of these pointed edges in here to hopefully show off that it's sharp here. As you could remove them, it would make it rounder. But I like how sharp it feels in some of these areas. So I'm thinking of adding a sharp bit there. And this is something I think we talked about earlier as well. I say earlier, last stream with the idea of jaggies. I'm thinking here though, maybe we can move it. Well, I think keeping it there. And this is how Necrotype Cafe gets its fish cakes. I can say that there is going to be a pirate wizard, what was it called? I forget the name of it, but Rodrigo made it. I believe Rodrigo, I don't know if he's here still, but yeah, it's going to be a Brinomancer. Ah, yes, Brinomancer. Maybe we can have little fish walking around. Sorry to dream of you, but you missed a really bad pun, did I? That this feels like a good size for him. Making him too long would be an overkill. You know what? I wish I would have missed a check. Terrible, I tell you. And fish not walk. Fish could have a little bubble on their head, like Sandy. Well, go ahead, and I think, yeah, I quite like this. Maybe we can make this guy here 3 and then 2. I think that could work, and then have this area go here. I like this going here, and then 3, and fish walk again! And then, my question then becomes, since there's lines here for this area, do we want to add that to this part here? I kind of like how it feels as if it's behind the body. And swimming around the cafe, you need an aquamancer for that, though. I mean, a brinomancer, I think, would be an aquamancer. And fish only flop. Fish can, maybe if the fish are magically enchanted to move around. I can see it. With that said, now that we have these guys, let's modify a few of these. Let's start off with this bit here. And what I'm going to do is grab about that top half of this area. Actually, no, the bottom half of this area. We're going to make the outline here, this kind of light gray color, and I'm using contiguous by, you can see up here. Oh, yeah, you can't see, yeah. Contiguous, if you make sure it's unchecked, whenever you use the bucket tool, it highlights all of that color. So for example, if I had contiguous checked on, you can see that it only highlights that selected area. And what I did is I selected all the lower half of the fish so that it doesn't do the other side. I then grab my bucket tool, make sure contiguous is off, and now it selects all of the dark colors or that dark single color, and it does it everywhere. So I can kind of go in and use specific parts and do a highlight. It makes it a lot easier than just filling it all in. And I know they're just weird. There's all 3. Oh, they have whatever muscle system. And no mud skip skid. Oh, I do remember mud skippers. And that's true. Oh my. So we'll grab the bottom bit of this fish here. I then want to see about starting off with, oh yes, the outline for our fin here as well. Let's see. For the fin, I'm thinking either we can do, probably have to go for a darker color. So maybe something like this guy here for our darker colors. Go back, and I forgot I have magical pants now. Aha, me. I'm thinking maybe this color here. It's a little bit lighter than our blue. I think it'll be okay. We could always do a different blue too. So if we go back to here and then not fill it in. We don't fill this guy in since it's part of our fin. So I'm going to do all of this as this color here since it's the fin color. So we'll go ahead and color all of that in. This guy here is also a fin, so we'll go ahead and color all of this guy in here. And then this guy here is also fin, so you'll be colored in about there-ish. And then we can go ahead and just grab this guy here, fill this guy in here. And then we can grab this guy here and also fill this guy in here for our fin, which I think can work. It can work. Maybe I have to make it a little bit more green, but for now, I say it's okay. And you can notice too, something here. Notice how it's not quite similar in the sense of, I have a dot here, but I don't have a dot here. I have a dot here, so do I need another dot in those specific areas? Maybe something like that? I think it depends. And a fiendish fiend. Oh, Nightingale, so lovely. It's a fish. Oh my. We can also elongate this guy out here, I think, to make him pointier that way. And look what you've done, Jack. Oh my. Maybe we can have it kind of go in a little bit here and have it go out there. I like it going a little bit longer. Actually, no. I take it back. I like it slim. I think slim's a little bit better. We have these two guys here. Now the question is, do we want to go... Ooh, that's not too bad. That's not too bad doing something like that, I think. And then we'll just blend these two colors together. That'll be fine. For our eye here, though, that's where it gets a little bit finicky. I wasn't even trying with that one. It just happened. I wish you well. Oh my. We'll zoom into here, I think, and then see how can we do the eye bit here. We could go for a dark eye that is going on here for this area. Then we can see about doing all of this color. The issue is that our gray area, our darker area, kind of gets overshadowed. So I'm thinking at least that's it. Put her in the fishnet! Go! You are finished! Finally. Oh boy. I think what we're going to do is we're going to attach all of this lighter color to this area here specifically to give it a bit more brightness in this spot. And I think we're going to do the same for here, where we're going to grab a darker color and add it to the back of the fish here, probably like that there to give it a little bit more shading. Something we can definitely do. I think what we're going to do, since that did seem to work well, is we'll do something like this where you can see the bottom of the fish. So we'll probably grab all of this here, have it kind of down by 2 or 3. Yeah, probably want to do this guy here. Then have it kind of come, I think, probably here. I don't want it to cut off or come near the fin is the thing. So it's tricky. How can we show this off? And I'm guessing this blue color and this brown color are similar in contrast because they feel like they're blending in. They're kind of blending in. Not strongly, but they're pretty close compared to something up here that's super duper dark. So in this case, I would think about making it a darker color. For example, you could do this color here to make it outline, but I want to keep with the brown. So let's go for a darker brown. If we do something like this here, and then this area, I think you meant fin boys. No, those are fin boys. Oh my. So we can go for this color, for example, that's darker. And if I fill you in for this area here, it definitely adds a little bit more oomph is the hope we're going for. So I think, yeah, let's just do all of it for this area. So if I just do that there, it adds more definition, which I think looks well. Now the question then becomes, where do we want our blue to end or start? Do we want it to kind of come all the way at the bottom here? Yeah, I think that works. And then for our stair guy, we can figure that out. Maybe we have it kind of coming here, and then we have our one. Now, does this go in? Yeah, you know what? I think that's okay. We'll have it go in, I think, here, and then have it coming up here. And why am I so gullible to fall for such a red herring? Tuna can play at that game. Oh boy. We'll save this guy then, and then what we'll go ahead and do is see about this light bit here. And I'm thinking at least of having it light. That way we can use this outline, and the hope is that it makes our eye darker with contrast. So I'm shifting all of our dark colors for the back here to give the eye in this area a lot more time to shine, is the hope. And now you too, Beluga, cut it out! Well, well, well! Oh boy, you're welcome! Let's then go ahead and see about sliding back up to here, and for these shiny bits, that's what I really want to pay attention to. Well played! So, for this bit here, what I'm thinking is, either we can make like a U, possibly some sort of triple shape. I do like the idea of possibly going for a U. We could also do something here for a pattern. There's a lot of different ways, and I'm not too sure how people usually do scales. There's this U idea I'm thinking of. Salmon has got to call someone has to call chaos. And this is getting wildly out of fin. We could do this for the fin, I think. You can kind of see how it overlaps. Or, and this is going to be a little bit on the crazy side, but you know what crazy? I was crazy once and now your butts are making my ears herring. What I'm thinking is, we'll do something like this. We'll go for possibly a triangle here, and then have this bit as the darker color, possibly, hold on. Have this bit here as the lighter color, have this bit here as the darker color, and then go a little bit darker here, possibly like that. And if we were to do a pattern like this, how does that feel? I'm wondering. We'll also have to, it seems, to add a little bit of a darker color to here and then go down here and maybe something like that. And then if we copy you to here, so we grab all of these guys here, we paste you here, then it's going to go here. Hold on. Grab you here. And I'm more of a sunfish. And I don't even like ice fishing. Oh boy, something like this. But I want it to kind of be, the hope is to make it look scaly is the hope, but I don't know how well that looks. We add this guy here, and then I'm guessing you would add then this guy here. And the idea behind all of this is that, and I don't know how well this is going to look, but I'm going to explain the thought process. So you have a scale here. This is all one scale here. If we're going by lighting, as I zoom in a little bit, what you can kind of see is that there's a big highlight on this part here. And so I add a dot here for that big highlight. Then what you can see is that since that's the highlight, there's a dark spot here and also a dark spot here. So I added 2 dark spots here. And then since this dark spot's a little bit darker, I also add a little bit darker for that spot. That's the idea behind the texturing. I'm not sure how well that's going to work, but that was the idea. And iridescent scale is definitely going to be something at that size. So now, scaly, not that frightening if you ask me. Oh my. So with that in mind, let's see how well we can do this. So if it is this guy here, then you're going to grab this color here, and then this is going to be the darker color. So this guy here, that guy there. Then maybe if we add another scale here, possibly, and I'm noticing right away, maybe not, but it's the idea, it's the thought that counts. We're going to go for this guy here, have it be a little bit darker, possibly, and yeah, I'm not too sure. And also, why does the fish look like it's stubbed its feet? It's going through things right now. Maybe if we do a checkerboard pattern, and I do want to take a look at how people actually do it, but I want to try figuring out the pattern on my own first. Maybe if we do something like this, and then have, for example, here 2, here 2, here, and then we do maybe a little bit lighter about here and here, possibly here and here, and then have this as a normal color here. How about that? How does that feel? And then if I grab you, and it's going to be a little bit tricky because the fish itself is oh, hold on. Oh, you know what? Technically, I could do a stamp, but we won't do that. Something like that there. Have it go here, maybe come in a little bit more about here-ish, and then we'll go slide you over a little bit here, copy you here for that bit there, and then if we copy you, go paste you again here, and have you kind of then go here, and you're all fish. So if I copy you here, paste you here, and go about here, and then if I do one more copy and paste, so grab you about here, copy, paste, go about here, maybe that for a fish pattern, and I'm hoping to get the entire fish, we do. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do an overlay over top of it. So I'm going to go, oh, hold on, actually, wrong guy. Okay, and then new layer, paste. Oh no, what happened to our big guy? Okay, we're good, we're fine. Grab you here, so grab you. Not all of that, grab you here, and now she's doing a magic trick. Oh, wait, these tries now, granted, I'm not sure if this is going to work, but we're going to try. So next up then, what I'm thinking is, we paste this guy here, drag you over to being in the area where the fish would go about here-ish. Then we're going to grab this guy here, make sure you're going for our palette, so you should be in palette layer. Then we're going to go back to our scale layer here. What I'm thinking I can do is if I grab this guy, we lower down the opacity, also set this to maybe like a multiply, possibly, and then up it a little bit. So let's see, maybe if we do a lightened more so, maybe if we go for lower here, there's lower we can do, there's also lighter we can do. There's some things, and where did he go? He's gone! Multiply here, there's also soft light you can add, and there's different colors. And the thing is, I think this can work under certain circumstances. It kind of looks like he's been obscured by water, and he's some sort of evil fish. This makes him darker, this adds saturation, this adds color, this adds screen. Screen. Maybe, if we up it a little bit more here, possibly. And then we'll go ahead and erase it for the area. So I will erase it all here. I'll erase it all here. We'll erase it here, and our outline zones. So this guy here is also going to get erased. It's also going to get erased here and here. Here, all of this is going to get erased since it's not part of the fish fiends. That's going to get erased. And then all of this is fiends, so we're okay for there, and there. Erase all of this here. And hello, air/chat. Hi, the Voltic Ace. Welcome back into stream. Welcome back into Frankenstein. Then we'll go back to here, and do this guy here. And he's becoming camouflaged. It reminds me, and I forget what the art style is, but there's people who will take, like with knives, and this is for physical art, but they grab patterns that they can tape onto things, and then they take a knife and they cut. It's for manga. I believe it's for manga. I'm not sure specifically. But this is what it reminds me of, where you take the manga and then you add the screen bit and you kind of cut it off. I don't know if I'll be able to find an example. If any of you can remind me, maybe you can find it during the ad break, since we'll be there soon. We'll remove that there, and then we'll see about removing this bit here, and we can keep that area there. We can then also remove it here for our fin here, because it's not going to be a part of the fin here. And then we can also remove it here for the eye bit here. So the eye does not get a part of this scaly area. And then next up, what we're going to do, she's de-skinning the fish. Then what we're going to do is see about also grabbing all of this light area for a fish. So we'll grab all of you here, and we're going to make you a darker color, because this is the darker part of the fish. So we will grab also you here. I'll remove you here. I want to remove you. How do I remove you? There should be like a subtract, I think. Add subtract from selection. I don't want you. Remove you. There we go. I'll remove this guy here, paste you to here. There we go. You'll be your own layer. And actually, truth be told, without the multiply even, if we just save this to normal, maybe normal like this, that's not bad. That's not bad. Maybe if we kind of do something here, sort of, it's not bad. I can say that much. And then if we close you here, Chef Bobby's back in the tuna restaurant. And now for this guy here, what I want to do is I want to go for full colors, and I want to do the same. So we grab this bit here. Oh no, this is our dark guy. And what I want to do is just modify it so that all our colors are like the black or the brown that we see here. Sushi restaurant, I mean. Oh my, and really your own custom fish at this point, unless you were going for a one-to-one reference. Looks like a fish. Thank you, Ami. Yeah, the hope was to do something here. Fish. We're going for fish. And someone draw Bobby cooking fish. Then we'll go ahead here, and for our lighter colors, we'll set this to be the lighter color here. We'll then go a little bit darker for our darker color, so this will be our darker color here. So I'll go ahead and set this to be a little bit darker, probably here is that darker tone, probably a little bit darker here, probably maybe that darker tone. Yeah, you're light color, then your darker color, and then you're even darker about here, so we'll maybe see about going even darker here. And then there's also our darker tone, which is about here, so something like that there. And then if we slide this guy down a little bit, so grab you, slide you back down to about here-ish, kind of, sort of. I think what doesn't work is the fact that their lines up and down, it kind of needs to be a different pattern. Would you see a maximum metallic reflective slide? Yeah, I think what we need to do then is kinda, as I do like this, I think this works. We grab this guy here, we'll merge it down so that all of our reflection is still on the fish. However, the next thing I want to do is I want to take all of these fish here, and I want to grab this layer, if it lets me, and I want to offset it a little bit. Yeah, it's hard to peek to, it's a hard peek to scale. Oh boy, why won't it let me? Oh, right, I have to set my selection back to the proper selection. What I want to do is make this guy go over by like probably here. Maybe it could have it go here. Possibly that way it's not one-to-one was the hope. And then go back to here. Oh, if it lets me, back to here. Make it go back up by like here and here and here. Possibly go like that there. The hope is to not make it look similar. That's what I want to do. And maybe instead of sliding it over, we just modify it. And she's reloading her fish. So I'm thinking at least we can make sure, possibly, that it's not too line-like by adding a little bit of lines here, maybe adding a little bit more powdering along these edges. That is something you can do. Maybe we can add a little bit of darkness here. Maybe add a little bit more darkness in these areas here. And Airseas, do that again. We could also, for example, go back to here in the sky, make it go up a little bit, possibly, and then add a little bit more highlights about here for our highlights. So this here could be a highlight. Maybe this here is also a highlight. Maybe this here is also a highlight. And maybe this here is also a highlight. And naturally, I don't like the lip there being a light color, so we're gonna do that there, I think. And then, as I said before, now if we lower this guy down here a little bit more, so it's not quite a line, and this is what I'm thinking, yeah. Line, I don't quite like the line. There's screen that was talked about earlier before. Yeah, you know what? let's go for something a little funky. I think that's fine. There's dark in here. There's also multiply. There's also here color burn. Yeah, I think our best shot, at least until we look at everything else, is probably going to be something like, let's see, there's color dodge too. Interesting. There's always so many different types of layers and colors I haven't seen that. I really do enjoy just looking at all of them and giving them a go. I kind of like that. I kind of like that, actually. Hold on. Let's go back to here, grab all of this again, and it really just takes a lot of trial and error. You could texture it just on your own, but I like using the multiply layers because I think it adds a little bit of oomph. So I do like taking time to do it. Let's go then subtract this guy here, and we're going to remove this guy. Hold on. I said subtract you. Subtract, does it not subtract? Yes, subtract. Subtract. There we are. Remove you, do new layer here, paste you here. You're going to be multiply, I believe, was the color here. Let me just double check here. Overlay, it's overlay. So you get set to overlay here, like that. And then for this guy, we're not going to do overlay. Probably going to set you to maybe normal here, but you know what, let's go for that. Yeah, that's fine. And then hopefully, and the question is, can we actually do this, or are you going to get changed in color? Okay, lovely. So now we have our fish, and I want to see as well if there's a way to possibly grab this fish copy, if it lets me. I just want to make sure I grab these guys without doing the overlay. That's the hope at least. So let's see if we can select this and merge it into a layer. So I'm going to go for our selection tool here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy my fish first, then slide you over, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this guy here, and then hold down shift as it lets me see all of this being selected, and then going to select this guy here. Oh, if it lets me, hold on, let's just select this guy here. Oh, right, selection, I did it wrong again. Hold your horses here and hi, Hydronics, welcome in the stream, welcome in, and Air sees the water god and the cursed fish goon. It does look like scales from here, and fish, fishing. Oh, fish, fishing is fishy, fish, so fish, fishing fish, the skin. Oh boy, let's go ahead and select if it lets me. There we are, it did, okay. And that's this layer here. And what I want to do is select this guy, and then I think it's Control-Shift-I to inverse it. And then, I want to take that selection here, and that's going to be part of this fish here. And then I'm going to remove this fish and do a new layer here and paste that to be fish here. So that's one fish layer. I then need to grab the bottom of the fish. So it's going to be this layer here for the bottom. I'm then going to select it all. Then I'm going to do Control-Shift-I to inverse it to grab the selection of the fish. I'm then going to remove this fish here. And I'm also going to paste it to be this area here. So now, if I remove all of these, you'll see that it leaves the fish area that has been selected. And the hope is that now, with the fish that we have, we can go ahead and merge it down. So I can go and grab this guy here and merge it. Oh no, hold on. You gotta grab this guy, I believe. Yep, and merge you down. Then merge this guy down, then merge this guy down. And then lastly, what I can do is, if I remove all of this, now we have our before fish and our after fish with the scales. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to have the overlay versus non-overlay. So now we have our overlay of scales. Oh, hold on. Now we have our overlay of scales. I just wanted it to be its own layer so that it didn't get confusing. And then we can just do this guy here. Oh, hold on. Fish needs to be copy, paste. There we go. There we are. Lovely. I just wanted a way to do this. That is all. And also, a fish finished is... Oh... And the fish is just zoomed away so fast, his old scale stayed behind. He's in the future. Well then, go back to this guy here and add in some lighting details. So grab this guy here, go for that guy there, I think. And then for this bit here, I also want to make sure we add in darker colors for the area back here, something like that. And all of this guy here is also darker, so we can also add that darker line here. And then for this guy, since you're also darker, we can add a darker tone about here-ish, I'd say. And that's not quite as dark as I would hope. So maybe we can go down a little bit more for that guy there. It's still not as dark as I'd hope. And also, this guy here should be wrong layer. Oh no, hold on. Undo all of you here. Yep, okay, and now grab that layer. There we are. Okay, and now the aftermath of fishing. Oh boy. We'll do this here, and this is all the bottom. And actually, technically speaking, I think all of this would be the bottom. So let's go ahead and just do that there, and then have this guy go here for the bottom bit. Yep. And then we'll have this guy here. And I was thinking this dark color, but I'm now not too sure. What I do know is that maybe now we can go for that kind of tan color that we saw before. And maybe what we can do is have a line kind of go here for the lines of the fiends. Not too bad. And when you can peel off your skin is clearing very efficiently. That sounds so wrong, I can say. So wrong. I'm thinking maybe we can have... I don't want to keep doing lines just because we have a lot of lines here, but it seems to be the case that it's lines everywhere. Lines, as far as the line can see. We'll grab this guy here, go back to the layer here that it should be. Also lock this layer so I don't keep modifying, and the fiends need to be creased a little. Yeah, it needs to be crispy. So I'm thinking at least maybe we make this guy here, because it's the bright part. This guy here can be our translucent portion, since it seems to get brighter at the very end here. Possibly something like that. And then even up here, we can kind of make it a little bit of a fiend here. Make that guy up here. Then this guy here can go all of this area here. And then we can have this go all of this area here. So they can hopefully have a light bit. But the colors are a little bit too different, I think. So we'll modify that a little bit in a second here. For example, I think this light bit might need to be a little bit darker about here, but not too dark. So something like that might work out a little bit better. I just wanted to make sure, are we modifying? We are modifying. Okay, I'll grab all of our fish here. Oh, if it lets me. I just want to grab our fish here. Grab you here. Yep, grab you here. New layer here. That way we can change everything. And it's all lines on the lines. You ain't lining. Yeah, the lines are, unfortunately, not too good, but that's okay. We're going to, in a second here, take a look at actual fish from games, and then we can kind of get some ideas. But I want to try on my own first, and then see what other people have done. So we'll go here. And let's see if I can do this before ad break happens. And Bobby, no, that wasn't your line! Oh boy! And then we'll go ahead and grab this color here, and then we'll go up a little bit more for the down color here. And so for this area, since this is all dark, I might just decide to go here, and then since that guy's kind of going down, and then this guy here, since you're also going down a little bit here, maybe have you kind of slide down a little bit. This guy here, since you are darker, might have you come in a little bit here. Or maybe actually have you go down here since you're the dark spot. And this bit here, since this is all the dark line, you can kind of go there a little bit. For our eye specifically, maybe we don't do a line. Maybe we just do... Oh, no. We don't do that. You know what? Hold on. There might be fixing this. Maybe we can go still for the big eye, right? Big eye here. Maybe we can go for big eye, possibly like this, right? Possibly like that there. Then we can make this guy here, maybe on the darker side here, like that. That way it's its own color. Maybe, hold on. And then we'll grab this color here maybe and fill that in. No, okay, maybe we can go to here, grab all this line here. Does that kind of blend in? It does kind of blend in. Maybe we can go for line here. That doesn't blend in as much as the other guys. Maybe we can go for that color there. No, it definitely doesn't blend in. And flabbergasted, it's straight up shocked. Oh boy, let's go ahead and grab this guy here. We'll then add this here. I wanted to do this here. There we are. He's beautiful. We just need the proper eye color. Proper eye color. You know what? That's not too bad, truth be told. It doesn't work, but it's not too bad. Stop. Oh boy. And we just need a right eye color. I'm not sure which eye color to give them, but I'm thinking at least a lighter color than what we have. There's the blue, but we already have blue. So maybe a yellowy orange color here, and we can fill this guy in. You know what? That's not too bad. Maybe then we can kind of go for like a darker color here, slide this guy over for a darker color here on this area, since it's kind of like a little bit of a wavy set. So maybe that guy here, and then maybe we can add a little bit more up here and add a little bit more up here and add a little bit more of a light bit there, and then we can kind of start merging them a little bit later. But then we can see about adding in, yeah, something like that. And a salmon pink, perchance. Salmon pink, you think? Let's see, salmon pink. That's like here? For the eye? Huh. That makes him look evil, though. That does give it a little bit more of a pop. I can say that. Maybe like a light salmon pink. Like that. A little bit. And just give a pale ice blue with yellow overlays. Pale ice blue. Could you elaborate a little bit, Hardronics? Yeah, you know what? I do quite like this. And then let's go up a little bit more. Actually, no, down a little bit more. A little bit more saturated. We'll go down here. And then we'll make this guy here go down a little bit more for our soundy bit. And we'll make this guy kind of this guy here. And then we'll go, actually do that there. And then we'll do a little bit darker. So do about darker here, and then we'll have this guy as the bottom bit there, so it's kind of moving over. Something like that there, I think, can kind of work, possibly. We'll also make this guy go in by a little bit here, and have this guy go up by a little bit more. And 99FFFF, but less saturated, hold it on. If I click on you here, we click, oh, if it lets me, come on, Aseprite, I believe in you. 99FFFF. Ooh. Hold on, let me just do a new layer here. And now less saturated, so something like this? That would blend in too much though, unfortunately. But it is nice, they're baby blue eyes, I can't say that. Let me go ahead and merge this guy down. Yeah, I quite like this, so we'll keep this. Okay, and that said, what I'm thinking is then, for our lines, how can we do the lining on the fish? That's what I'm not too sure about. Maybe what we can do, and no, less saturated as in more white? That, I did move it over to the white. Hold on, I can try one more time, but it's fine. All right, then. Let me then see about doing this guy here. And I want to do a little bit of a lightning area for that bit there to kind of show off that it is part of the fish. And then I want to kind of do a lightning bit here, so it's not a single line. Hope is to make it look not like the lines going on down here. Maybe we'll add in like a little line here to show off that it is a different kind of texture. Maybe then we can kind of have this guy go a different texture. The hope is that we're not trying to make it look like this here. It's an up and down line. I don't want to do an up and down line for the texture of even though it is technically like an up and down line, I don't want to do up and down because we already have that texture. And hi, Chum. Welcome to the stream. Welcome in. Hey yo, welcome in. All right, gotta go now. No worries at all. Hardronic, thanks for stopping by and chatting for a little bit. An ad break. Fine, Twitch, I suppose, and it's not like I can't even stop it. Let me just see about doing like this and then like that and then like this and like, you know what? I take it back. I take it all back. I kind of like the idea of doing maybe that and then have it kind of go out more like that, possibly. I mean, yeah, maybe, possibly copy you here, paste, flip. Slide you down to there, like that. Actually, no, I take it back. That's not a good idea. Hold on. Have it go there, and then she was at the sizing of the fiends here. Not too much a fan of that, but it's not too bad, per se. Maybe we have this guy kind of going up a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, I can dig it. I can dig that right there. It's a little bit wonky because of the coloring, but I think it could work. You were talking about some cutting art stuff. Oh, yes, thank you, Check for that one. Let me add these guys here and add this bit here. And then let me see if I can find it as I save this guy here. Yes, indeed. It was a manga art cut pattern, sticky. Possibly, does this let me see? Screen tones, they were called screen tones. That's what I was thinking of. It's where you take a screen, you put it on, if I can find this guy here. You put the screen on it after you draw it, then you attach the screen tone, then you use a little like X-Acto knife to cut it, and then you tear it off. And then you get the dark patterns and the hatching bits. That's what it reminded me of when we were doing the scaling it bit for texture. The idea of adding it everywhere and then slowly kind of cutting it away and then ripping it apart. That's what it reminded me of. It's something very common in manga. I thought that was pretty neat. Let me see if I can find... Yeah, you can kind of see where they overlay it, they cut it out with a little X-Acto knife here, and then they take apart the parts they don't need. An Aseprite extension? Yes, Amjam! I am so excited for that! I had planned on making an update to my templates, but I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to wait for the 28th because I know what's coming out. To those of you that don't know, Asimulator, I'm so excited. It came out today. I've been looking forward to it by a lot. Let me click on this guy here to quickly, Asemulator. Now, I don't know if it is going to cost any. I would happily buy it. We go here. Let me bring you into this. To those of you, as I think, yeah. Definitely good to talk about. This here, as soon as stream ends, I'm going to take a look at it. It is a plugin for Aseprite. Now, is it free? Template bundle? There's a template? Oh, I see. So does it, it's 100% free. Mind you, what this plugin does is that if you're making animations, it allows you to test the animations in Aseprite itself. So you don't have to try moving it. It even adds controls you can use. So if you're making a platformer, it allows you to do WASD inside of Aseprite itself, which I just think is so neat. I don't know how it works. I haven't tried it yet. There was a version before this one, but it was like the beta version. I wanted to wait for the full version to be released, and I'll be so excited to try it post-stream as I'm currently working on a template. Hold on. There we are. Yes. Welcome back from the stream, by the way. Welcome back in. I'm currently working on a character template, and I've realized character animations are painful and interesting, isn't it? Hold on. I can actually can I show you? No, I can't. It's fine. We're focusing on this guy here, not the template, but I'm making a template. I'm studying character animations. The idea of being able to have attack animations play to set it up in Aseprite itself without having to export it to Godot, for example. Oh, I'm so excited. This is going to make updating the template a lot easier. Right now, I'm working on I think I'm making a block animation. No. Yes, block animation. I'm making a block animation, but I was struggling to draw it. And I'm hoping this will make it a lot easier since I'll be able to try it out in person. I'm so excited. That's it, and with the little $5 tip. Yeah. Oh boy, I'm excited. That said, welcome back from the art break. Yes, indeed. If you have not tried it, hold on. Yes, the fact that it's free too, my goodness. Let me paste this into there. Go check it out. I 100% think you should. Let me click on this guy here and click on this guy here. All right, so back from talking about screen tones, and that just reminded me, do you have a list of your useful Godot plugins? Yes, I do, and I don't. Nowhere official. I have linked it in the Discord before, but when I update the website, I want to have a spot specifically where I have all of my plugins, as I do have a few, but eventually, it's coming, I assure you. As I zoom in as soon as Scout Discord whenever I remember. Kick, punch, jump, and drop the door animations. Oh boy, let's zoom in here a little bit more. Lastly, I wanted to see about highlighting our little fin here. And then after that, we'll take a look at some actual fish and see what we can do to modify our own little fish here. So I'm thinking at least we can make this guy the bottom fish portion because it's the little bottom spot here to kind of show that this is the top bit, bottom bit there. Possibly do something like this to show the top area. And then maybe what we can do, and the thing is as well, I don't have any anti-aliasing. Can we possibly add it in super duper quickly? Possibly, just to give it a little bit more oomph, a fair chance. I'll copy this guy here. Look, without the scales, he looks so off. Oh, that's adorable. We'll copy this guy here, copy you here, and then we'll go and grab all of your little scales here, copy you here, slide you over. Oh, right, I locked it so I wouldn't edit it. Copy you here, slide you over to here. There we are, and I did it. So lovely. He's naked. Avert your eyes! We'll very quickly do some anti-aliasing here. And to do that... Oh, also, I kind of like the idea of having these guys possibly as a dark tip. Hold on, where are we at for here? Yeah, I don't know how well I like the idea of having those bits blend in. But you know what? It's fine. It's okay. Things can change. For anti-aliasing very quickly, what we'll do is grab this lighter color here, go halfway percent, and I'm going to go, let's see. Actually, I don't think we can. What if we grab this color here, go about, if it lets me, this color here, go about 50%? Does that get us, it kind of gives us a different color. Maybe we can kind of modify it a little bit so it's not as obvious. Maybe if we add, for example, here, just trying to change up the pattern a little bit. Add this guy here and here. Maybe add more so something like this here for like little arrow bits. Something there and there. Hold on. Add it there and then add another arrow like here possibly. Maybe we could say about doing like a few patterns here and there. I think possibly it might work out a little bit more in our favor. So for example, maybe we have a little pattern here going on with a little triangle bit. Maybe that works out a little bit more. And I don't know, the big eyes making me feel like the face has a really shattering epiphany right now. All that's missing is the intense zoom in on the eye. Oh boy, just think. Almost reminds me of the groundhog doing the da. Let's go ahead and have this guy do a little bit of, I think, that there. We can then maybe see about adding in this bit here, adding in possibly bits around here so it's not as obvious in this area here. Maybe add a little bit of a line here. And I wish that makes the fish experience 7 right now. I hope he's not suffering. He's just supposed to be cute. You know, I didn't want anything to suffer. I meant no harm by my intentions. We'll add another guy, I think, here. And then we'll also add another guy possibly here. We'll then see about adding another guy here. Possibly then we can move this guy a bit there. And the hope is to make it not look too much like a line. I'm hoping by adding a bit of these areas, it'll make it not look as obvious. It's suffering! Heresy. Oh my. We'll add a bit more here to make it a little bit brighter. And then, I'm thinking at least, let's add in possibly a blending of these areas here. So we'll grab this color. That's actually this color here. So maybe we just grab that color here, that color here, that color here. Grab this color, see about going 50% here. And all I'm trying to do is I want to make these guys not as obvious in the sense of I want to blend a few tones. For example, here, how there's a really strong difference between them. I'd go about 50% and maybe add a dot there. And now it kind of doesn't go as harshly, is the hope at the very least. For example, here, maybe because it is also the bottom of the fish, we don't do lighter colors. Maybe we do something like that there and then do that there. So it's not as bright. Possibly then we can see about adding in maybe that guy there, that guy there. Maybe then we can add in another guy here, move that color here, add in that guy there, add in that guy there. And then maybe we can add in another guy about here instead, so it's not, the bright bits are only on the top part. But then, right, maybe if we go for a little bit more saturation, we can add a little bit, no, I take it back. All right, I think I'm getting a little bit too crazy. I was hoping for a little bit of saturation to add a little bit of oomph. That does not do the thing I thought. So you know what, we're going to leave it. Instead, we're just going to focus on the fins super duper quickly, and then we'll take a look at the pixel art of other creators. As I make this guy go down a little bit darker, add this guy, our 50% guy right here, I think. Then we'll make this guy go about 50%, I think, here. Have these guys go about 50%. This guy then, let's grab the 50% of you. Grab you there, put you about there and there. 50%, 50% for you is about here-ish. So I would want to add one here. See about adding one there, add one there and there. And then for this guy here, I would see about adding that color here to that color here. 50% about here. Oh, we also need to have that there. And then this bit can also come out a little bit brighter, I'd say. Probably that can go there, and then have this guy kind of go out here and have it go there. Not real, reality isn't real, cavity's lie. Bye, gold, bye. And then we'll add this guy here, and then we'll go 50% there, and then we'll add in about, I'd say, probably there and there. Add that there, add that in. Maybe we can add it in something like that, and then we can see about adding in possibly there and there. And the hope is that it kind of blends the colors, so it's not as obvious on areas. I might add it here, maybe add it here and here to give it more of a scaly look, but I'm not sure how well of a scaled look does that feel like. Might add it, let's see. Maybe here we could also do like a 50% about there-ish and there-ish. You know, actually, I think there's fine, just there. Add it maybe along this line here, do about 50%, and I might just be doing too much, but you know what? It's okay. The hope is to make it textured, and I think I did do that. And lastly, what I want to do is I want to go up here a little bit, and I want to see about adding just a little bit of a highlight. Something like this here for a bit of extra oomph. But I'm not sure how well that feels. Just a little bit in some areas here. Something like that. That's going to be my fish attempt, I think. And then let's go ahead and see about how other games do fish, as I have a lot of fish here. Most of these, well, how it worked was I downloaded all the assets, I put them on a big board, and then one of my moderators, Frost, sorted everything. As there's a lot, even some of them didn't get sorted, and there's still some that yet have to have been sorted, but there's a lot of different sea animals here from different games. We'll be covering sharks eventually, but for now, I can confidently say that most of here is fish. There's a little bit more fish here. I also downloaded some Stardew Valley fish, so let's take a look. Specifically, I want to keep a lookout for how they do scales. Scales and pokefish. Ew, frosted fish. You don't like your frosted fish flakes, Jack? We'll zoom in here a little bit. So, these are items, but again, I think that's okay. And you know what? Actually, speaking of, let me go to Traveler's Rest here. I didn't get a chance to download them, but just looking at scale texturing, is there something we can learn from their items? I don't know. So I'm going to grab this guy here. We'll take a look at it in a second. Going down the list of games though, for these guys, is there a way to tell? The thing is, these are 16 by 16, and what? Oh, my pokey fish. I didn't read that as well. Lovely, lovely. For these guys, at least, because they're so tiny, it seems to be a case of dithering. Dithering is my best guess on what you would describe this as. For example, here for our fish, it's kind of like a checkerboardy bit, and then there's some highlights all around some of the areas. So maybe more so checkerboardy, especially because they're so small. Some of them don't even have scale areas. We can even see here a line to emphasize the light bit, and that's it. They're very simple because they're very small. Oh, look at that! A little bit of anti-aliasing along this guy here too. I didn't think Stardew Valley had anti-aliasing, so it's nice to see. Yeah, here too on the little eel. Oh, that's neat. Alongside that, we also have Pokemon Yellow, and we have for our Goldeen, I think that one was Goldeen, or is that one the Goldeen? That would have been noticeable had I read. I was quite close. It's not the Seeking. I have never seen a Seeking in my life. I've seen many Goldeens though. For this guy, because it's in such low colors, and just realize scale is such an overloaded term. Scale as in size, scale as in fish or armor, scales as in the thing measure weight, scale as the scope of something. Why is it like this? Everything is so fundamental, they say. Well, speaking of words, Eska just pointed out how many words or how many meanings scale has. That's true. That's very true. We need to figure out the scales of the fish's scales by scaling it to a certain size and then saying about how the scales feel against the other weights. And you're scaling too much. Be scared or scaled. Be very scaled. If I'm zooming into here, there's not much fish. Oh, that's what seagulls. Fins. There's not really fins going. Scales. There's not much scales going on here. Surprisingly. Maybe because of the color usage. Then again, it's a much bigger sprite. The Pokemon Yellow sprites are, I think, 64 by 64, 48 by 48, which is a surprise, huh? This guy here's more like a platypus. I was about to say duck. Even here for our Pokemon, this is definitely not Pokemon Yellow. Your Pokemon Black and White. For Pokemon Black and White, again, they don't add scales, or when they do, it's patterns. So they pay more attention to the patterns of the fish than actually adding the scales, which is interesting. And I think the meaning has different etymology, so it's just an English being English. Oh, I bet it's just English being English. Aside from that, we also have a game here called Secret of Mana. And in this game, there's this little fish monster, and you also don't have scales. Interesting. Here I thought scales were pretty Goldeen. Yep, Goldeen. There's Goldeen. Oh, where'd the Goldeen go? Is that the Goldeen? No, that doesn't look like a Goldeen. Huh. I didn't think Goldeen was so pretty. Maybe it's just because I'm used to hearing Goldeen. But it's adorable. It's a lot more cute than I thought. And it isn't. And Secret Mana played that back and it came out, stressing me out. What happened, Antona? What happened? As I zoom back into here. Yeah, I expected, and Goldeen is Mika-kuns. Haven't heard that one. Yeah, it seems to be the case. Scales aren't important to Pixelart fish as I thought. If we zoom out here, there's also this game here called Secret of Mana. Yeah, again from Secret of Mana, a piranha. And this piranha also doesn't have scales. Interesting. Yeah, they pay more attention to the form of the fish more than the scale. And as I'm zooming down here, any other fish we can spot? I think this is from, Ruby and Sapphire. Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Any other fish here? We have like would you be like a barracuda or, I don't know. But again, not really any scales. And that could be a scale, also be scale, are not super important depending on what animation are going on, especially in Pokemon. True as well, yeah. The hope is to draw not a fish as an item, but as a creature. And since these are creature designs and how Pokemon, how they do it for designing their creatures, the thing is like as well, it's not meant to be realistic, it's meant to be fantasy. So they take the idea of a fantasy fish and stretch it out by a lot. So it's interesting to see, especially like, for example, looking at this Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire guy, and if I were to grab my fish here, it's bigger, but it doesn't pay attention to the scales. That is interesting. Here I thought it was super important. And you know what? Maybe it's the case as well that because mine is an art piece, I can pay attention to detail. But when you're doing animation, you don't want a lot of detail because it makes it hard to animate. Maybe that too, and it's a gunfish. And I suppose Dave the Viper, That's true. Hold on. Is that on the Spiders resource? Dave the Diver Spiders. That's not how you spell spiders. SPRI Spiders resource. I completely forgot about that game. I used to play it so often. It is not on the Spiders resource, unfortunately. However, there is a current recreation project, but it's not on the Spiders resource that I can find, which is a shame. Yep, and tragic and yours is a piece that will go in the mental place. Yeah, mine is detailed for the sake of detailedness. This feels more functional. They built a functional guy. Anywhere else we see fish at for Pokemons? Let's see, again with the piranha, they do a little bit dithering, but that's it. Not much, which surprises me. So I think at least my fish maybe doesn't have to be. Even here, for something that looks a lot more like a fish, again, they pay more attention to the patterns than the form in the sense of this is the light highlight and this is the dark area. How interesting. Even here for like an eel creature, not really many scales. Here for, again, another, what's a barracuda? Hold on. Barracuda. Oh, I was way off. I forgot. It's the long fish. The barracuda is the long one. Hold on, let me just show you. I guess maybe I was thinking of the teeth. Look at this guy. He's so long. Yeah, that's an eel. That's more of an eel. I saw the teeth and I thought, yes, clearly, as you can see here. Maybe a leech. Yeah, feels more like a leech, especially here. Yeah, like a leech. I can see a leech. Yeah. And this guy here, an electric eel, I think. It feels like one of those fish that leech or bite into something. What's it called? It gives you like a ring. It chews chunks out of the creature's skin. It's grotesque. It is awful, I tell you. This fish here, again, not a lot of scales. Interesting. Here we have a fish that's more of like a goldfish. Not a lot of scales. Huh. Interesting. Okay. So when it comes to Pokemon, they don't add scales. There's one more game, I think, that is here. Oh, no, there's two. Okay, so there is the game, and I remember this game. I don't even have to know what the name is. I know this art style. This is Ragnarok Online. Survey says I was right. Ragnarok Online, notoriously, we've seen it before, their games are very hyper-realistic. I can show you too, if I can find it super duper quickly, as it's always a sight to behold to see how they draw their things. Ragnarok Online here, where are we at? I believe we've recently done, or actually no, I can just Google it, can't I? Ragnarok Online, yep, there it is. If I grab another one here, and I hate its face. Oh boy, the creatures that they come up with for the art style is wild. For example, take a look at this wolf from Ragnarok Online. This guy right here. The way they do their texturing is always so interesting, I think. It has a certain feel to it that I don't see in a lot of pixel art. So looking at this guy here, do you see how you can tell it's from the same exact game? Oh boy, especially the teeth. The teeth is what gets me. So, we have a much more realistic looking fish. And for this guy, how do they decide to texture it? For their fish, how they decide to do it is with tiling. In the sense of, they separate it a little bit, and I can say this too. It reminds me of what we saw earlier. And I almost got spoiled myself, but what it reminds me of, if we go back into our planning scene here, is what we saw in Rodrigo's piece. Where, if I click on this guy here, and this guy here, the scales, this feels the scaly, rocky texture. I didn't even think of that. But having areas that are separated with lines and then highlighting those parts, that's a really good idea for scales. So let's see, going back into there. I want to give that a try. I think we'll definitely have time for it. So what I'll do here is I'll grab our Ragnarok reference and I'll save it for a little bit for later so we can have it in our reference back pocket. Grab you here. And that said, what else can we see? There's also this eel here, which is adorable, I think. And then this here, also Ragnarok, I believe. Yes. And take a look at how they do scales for this guy. For this fish hat, as that's what this is. If you can believe it, it's a fish hat. It reminds me of a little bit like chainmail armor in the way that it's reflective. And it seems to be the case that if it lets me, they use squares and they kind of overlap the squares, which is interesting. They pepper it with squares for the texture. Interesting one. Interesting one. I want to give that a try too. Not only do they use squares though, they also do little lines here for scales, which is interesting too. So you know what? Let's also put that in our back pocket as another idea. And then let's see, what else is there as I'm taking a look at these? Another thing of note is our swordfish here, also from Ragnarok. And this guy does not have, what's about to say gills, does not have scales, but it does have a very reflective feel to it. And I'm guessing it's because of the highlight at the very top here and front. So I highlight it like the top and front. And then, what's this game? I'm curious, what's this one? Ooh, I don't even know how to pronounce it. I believe you can see it. La Pukil Tactics? Pusil Tactics, possibly? That guy there is where this whale's from. But we're not doing whales, so no need to look at him. I believe that's everything. Oh, no, actually, no. Two more I wanted to check. Can't look at the Dave the Diver. That's okay. We can take a look at the Traveler's Rest fish. These are items, but I think it's, oh, that's adorable. Look at that crocodile. That's cute. That's quite cute. I might need to save that for later. I haven't taken a look at these sprites at all. Oh, that's cute. Look at the eggs. This art style is adorable. I actually haven't looked through any of these. Oh, this is nice. This is like maybe 32 by 32 sprites. They're very pretty and very colorful. The rug textures, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Fields of Mystria, but less cartoony, a little bit more on the, look at that skull. A little bit more on the realistic side. This is really, look at the candle. Oh, I'm going to have to come back to this. There's a lot of nice textures here. The wood, for example. Look at the little teddy bear. I know we're talking about a fish, but man, what's the last time we did a food study? I don't even remember. Look at the little, is that a shrimp? It's so good. It's literally edible. Oh my, sliding over here so I don't get distracted by the Saint Bernard and that's not a corgi. That's definitely not a corgi. You might be a corgi. No, you're like a Shiba. You're like an Australian Shepherd if I had to guess. Sliding back up to here. Fish. This is what we were talking about. How do you do your scales? It seems to be the case that they too don't really do scales much. There's a highlight, there's a shadow. Here, you could maybe call it scales. There's like a dithering mixture between lines, kind of like what we saw before with Fields of Ragnarok. Interesting. Even here, we can kind of see that it also goes back to that idea of having dots with 2x2. Interesting. For this piranha, no scales that I can see distinguished. Interesting. And this bit here, again with the idea of the rocky texture where you have forms and then the forms have areas around them. Interesting. Okay. Well then, as we take a look at some carps here and some bass, what I'm going to grab is our two fish here, I think are our best bet. So I'll grab these two guys, and with the knowledge, let's see about upgrading our fish here. So we have from Fields of Ragnarok, as well as from Traveler's Rest. I think these are our best examples to use. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to here and go back to here. And let's go ahead. Now with that said, I'm going to grab and merge, remove the scale texturing, but keep the fins. Oh, actually, no, we didn't even take a look at the fins. We'll take a look at the fins later if we have time. For now, I want to specifically pay attention to the texturing of the scales. So I'm going to go back to our fish here, and I'm going to do a little bit of modification. For example, what I'm going to do is copy you here, slide you down to here, and then what I'm going to do is grab this bit here, and you actually need to be on a different layer, a layer below, paste you here. And was the YouTube link always missing from the Twitch description and Discord link page? No, Twitch doesn't allow you to have the YouTube link in it, unfortunately, so I can't link from Twitch to YouTube. I did read that during the rules. And then you said description and Discord link page. Discord link is missing. Twitch, you said? Oh, hold on, let me just see. There's Twitch. No Twitch. Is there actually no Twitch? There's no Twitch. Thank you for that one, Chuck. Yeah, it was always missing. Let me write that down here. There we go. Hold on. Let me just see Discord Twitch link. If I write this down, DISCORD TWITCHLINK. Thank you for that one, Check. I never noticed that. It's been like that for a good amount of time, I can say. And Twitch is there, YouTube isn't? I can't read. I think that's just it now. Let me erase Twitch here, hold on. And let me just do all of that there, and let me do YOUTUB here. Okay, now we're good. Thank you for that one. Getting glasses toggle can't do that, me.
Jotun just
I don't know if that'll help you
glasses
with reading
toggle.
though, but I can definitely toggle the glasses on and get that 10-minute timer going. Thank you for that one. Lovely. Okay, well, I wanted to grab the fins off of this fish, but not the scales. That's what I want to yoink, and we can pretend. You know what? They say, fake it till you make it, and cute fish. Thank you, Pot. Thank you. We're going to copy over this guy here, and then grab this guy here. Make sure you erase there. And we're going to grab all of the other areas that aren't the eye or the fins. So we'll grab all of this here, and I'm holding down shift as I'm selecting to grab multiple things. So I'm selecting this guy here and grabbing this line here, grabbing this line here, grabbing that line here, and also grabbing this guy here. And then I can just copy it, paste it, slide it all the way down to here. And what's wrong? Why do you look like that? Odd. What layer, perchance, are you on, fish? I grabbed the wrong layer. Hold on. This is fixable. Copy you. Yes. And then now paste, right? Aha. I figured it out. How lovely. Okay. And then we can grab these guys here. Oh, if it lets me. Grab you here. Remove you. Paste you into this guy here. Also then remove you here and just paste you to here. So now we have our fish without the scales. That said, let's go ahead and try some different methods for texturing said scales out. As we have our scale colors, and we can modify these guys too a little bit more, but we have our colors. So what I'm thinking of is 3 different types. Let's try to do the rocky method. Let's try to do the chainmail method, and let's try to do dithering. I don't know if we'll have time for all 3, but I want to try. So I'll go and copy, not turtle, we're on fish. I'll copy you here. This is going to be more so the rocky one. We have 3, I think. There's technically 4, but I don't know if we'll get to 4. So I'm just going to go for these guys here. So to begin, let's try the rockier method, which is this guy here. So I'll drag you over to this area, and let's take a look. And hi, Chapel. Welcome in the stream. Welcome in. Hi, Eris. Bye, Eris. The fish is coming out pretty good. Well, thank you, Chapel. I hope you have a lovely day. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. I hope you have a lovely one, and thank you all over again. Well then, you know, actually, I'm keeping that fish here. You're quite cute. Well then, go ahead and zoom out here, zoom in here for this guy here for our reference fish. Okay, so the idea here, and have a lovely day, y'all. Stay hydrated. You know what? Thank you. I was about to say you're about to get water on the house, but I just have to stuff the water.
Just
thank you.
Water.
One more. Thank you for that one. Thank you, Chapel. And welcome into stream play more. Welcome in. Okay, so the last food study was last year. I figured, no, veggies don't count. It has to be a dish study, not veggies, as in like the crops or plants. I'm talking meals. I believe the last time we did it was when we were drawing dishes for the game, which was a long time. How long have those dish sprites been in the game that they have not been added or updated, I wonder? Oh my. We'll zoom out here a little bit, and we're going to do some sort of pattern. I think our best bet here is to separate them. So what I'm going to actually do is grab some of the colors that are spoiled. That's how long. They were. We'll grab our palette here, as I do like some of these colors. Oh, hold on. I want to grab you. I want to grab you here, possibly, is it? And paste you here for palette. Ah, lovely. I wanted to grab the colors from these guys. Okay, so I take it back for here, and that's like 2 years. And that's what I figured. Like, during the first year of streaming is when I think we did our last food study. So, you know, technically speaking, since we have done our, since we've been going around the block, I think we are due for another food study. We haven't done one. We've done some crops recently, and I do kind of want to draw food now just because of the things I saw. So for this guy here, it seems to kind of be a little bit later, kind of not. What I'm going to do is see if we can make it a little bit bigger. What I'm going to see about doing is something like this here. Have that as a block, possibly. Maybe we can kind of have, or actually, hold on. It's an outline, so it can't be. Maybe we can go a little bit lighter, possibly here, and then go for something a little bit lighter. Possibly that can work, maybe a little bit lighter, so it's not the same. About here, yeah. I think Gabby might be a little bit malnourished. No, she's been eating good. she makes her own food, so she has all the food she could ever want. We'll go ahead and make this guy here, the bottom guy here. Actually, maybe if we do this guy here, so it'd also be the bottom bit here, like that. Oh, you know, actually, I do like that. I do like that. Okay, and then we'll have another guy going here, or do we want to go for a line about, you know, I kind of think maybe have it go here and then end here, or we could go here as well, have it then go here, because that line gets cut off, having the line go here, and then maybe actually we can do a line then more so here and here, and then kind of have it go there. You can kind of see how it's not crossing a little bit odd. And great study art, thank you. The gray fish reminds me of rainbow fish. This guy here, Iso Falcon, this guy here is from Fields of Ragnarok, a pixel art game that is super duper detailed, and I can 100% recommend. It's got wonderful art. We're then going to go, let's see, here, possibly here, and then I want to see about maybe going up here and adding another guy here, and then maybe adding another guy here, and then maybe adding another guy here, and then maybe we can see about adding in not super sharp areas like that there. And then for areas here, possibly we can go for something a little bit here. And thank you, Jay Nickies, maybe. Jay Nickies, thank you for the follow. Please correct me if I'm wrong on the name. Welcome in. And then we kind of do this guy here, possibly, so something here-ish. And then maybe we can have it kind of going down here, and then maybe going down here. And then this guy can kind of go in here, so it's not all the same. Maybe it can kind of go here and here, possibly. And then we can have this bit go, let's see, have it kind of go in here and here. Have it maybe go here in its own rocky area. I don't want to do the pattern too similar, but I do want to get a little bit creative. Maybe we can go here and then add another guy here. And then maybe we can add, actually, you know what? I kind of like that. And then add maybe another guy here. Maybe then we can add another guy here and here. Yeah, let's go for something like that. And then maybe we can add in another guy here. And then for this area up here, we also have to do the same thing. I'm not sure how well it's going to work, but we can try. We'll add in this bit here, we'll add a line here. Maybe then we can add in, let's see, a line here and add it kind of going around here. So possibly have it go here. And then maybe we can see about having it go, let's see about here. Having it go here, possibly, and then having it kind of go up here for all of that section, possibly like that there. And then maybe we can have it go over a little bit more and have it come down. And then maybe we can have this guy go up here a little bit more and have it go there. And then maybe we can have this guy go here, have it cut off a little bit more. And then maybe we can have it kind of cut off a little bit more here and here. Something like that, I think, can work out. And then, it's actually Ragnarok Online. Oh, did I say Fields of Ragnarok? Ragnarok Online, thank you, Jack. Yes, Ragnarok Online. I misspoke. My apologies. Oh boy. Oh boy. And then what we'll do here is add in lighter areas for the bits up top. So this bit here is a little bit lighter and a little bit darker, and I would play Fields of Ragnarok. It sounds like, what was the game with the boy? That's all I remember. That one there is the one that I remember quite vividly, but I can't remember the name of it. Kratos, yes, Kratos, is that the game? No, God of War, that's what it's called, God of War, that was the game. Yep, God of War, thank you for that one, Pala. That's what it reminded me of, Ragnarok, the person's boy. Yeah, that's the name. Oh my. Let's then go here, and I want to grab a little bit of a darker color. Possibly we can go for this guy here. Let's then go a little bit darker here and add a little bit of darker area about here for everywhere that's behind. So maybe we go a little bit darker for here. Something like this. Here for areas that are in the back line here and here and here for all bits in the back. And then maybe what we can do is go down and also go for a little bit darker in some areas. So maybe this guy here is just a little bit on the darker side. It's still pretty different. But maybe we can add in like another darker guy here. Maybe we can add another like darker guy here, possibly. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I think let's go for that. And then probably add another guy there. And then for this guy, we can add in, I think, another darker guy about here, probably. Pepper that guy in here. Also add another dark guy here. And then we can also add a few light guys. So let's go up here. Let's then go up here. And then add maybe a light guy there, maybe a light guy here. A little bit lighter because I can't see the difference between those guys here. Yeah, you're pretty different actually. I take it back. Add it kind of there and there. Maybe add it here too. Or actually, you know what? Maybe up here. Maybe something like that. and then add maybe another guy here, another guy there, and then maybe we can add another guy kind of here and here, and have it kind of go inwards like that there, and then we can kind of have this guy go a little bit darker. And then for areas here, what I'm also going to do is add a little bit of darkness to some of those areas. So let's add a shadow about here. And for this area, let's add a little bit of shading here. Let's add a little bit of shading here. Let's add a little bit of shading here around these areas that kind of connect. And then we'll go a little bit darker here. So a little bit darker in those areas here. Add maybe another guy here, another guy here for darker areas. And glasses off. So glasses, go ahead and take them off. Thank you for that redeem again. And then after that, we can go here and maybe grab our darker outline color here. Now add a little bit of rocky area there. Maybe add a little bit more here and here. Okay, that's not too bad, I'd say. You know what we could also see about doing is maybe we can add a line here and here to show off the lighter part, not lighter, but show off reflection. So if we grab all the light that's here and we were to make it like this, how does that look, do you think? If we do, that guy there, that guy here. Yeah, okay. Add that there, and then add in this guy here and here. Something like that. Does it feel as though it kind of has like an underbelly? And the game with the boy is the biggest description I've heard in a while. It's the closest thing I can think of. The game with the boy. Oh boy. Oh my, well then go up here a little bit and I think add this guy. Make him not as dark, because you don't need to be that dark. You can be a little bit lighter, maybe even like that. Actually no, you look dead. I don't want you looking dead. That's not a good idea. We'll then see about doing this guy here, and we'll go a little bit lighter in some areas. So possibly we can go a little bit light here, maybe a little bit light here, maybe light here, and a god of boy. Then we'll add it here, maybe a little bit here. And then we'll go here, maybe a little bit, and actually, no, let's just go for this color here as it's kind of going in the back, so add it there. And then after that, I can definitely see too, adding maybe a darker guy here, maybe adding like there, and this is where, what's it called? This is where adding in anti-aliasing can come into play. So for example, maybe we add anti-aliasing into there, maybe we add it into here and here. Actually, no, just there, I think. And then for these guys that are blending, let's go ahead and back to 50% here. Grab that guy here, 50% here, and just kind of add it in those areas about there. It's not very clear, unfortunately, but that's okay. We'll add it into there, and I think then after that we can kind of add in area here, have it kind of go up a little bit more, maybe about there, and then add a little bit of darkness here, possibly like that. Mir's not wanting to something like dead? What have you done with a space princess? I like things that live. Living things are good. Life is good. Good. Yes, very good. Let me go up here, and I also want to see about adding a little bit more oomph to the eye here, like a little bit more saturation. We go up here and go up to here and do something like that. I think we can give it a little bit of something here and up a little bit more. So she's a necromancer. No, Gabby's not a necromancer, but I bet she knows a necromancer. Let's then go here and add a 50% to this eye about here and here. Oh, hold on, not 50% is actually going to be that color. And then let's go ahead and add this color here for 50%. So about here and here. There we go, about there-ish. I quite like it. Is that a threat? No, I had a threat, don't know, or never knew, or don't know what that is, in fact. What is this threat you speak of? Let's go up here, then let's go to the brighter blues here. Probably up here is where we'd go, and up a little bit more. Probably here, maybe, and let's go up even more, because I can't see that brightness. Up even more. Keep going. Okay, go back a little bit. Actually, hold on. Can you work? Possibly. I was thinking at least of having like a highlight here, but I don't quite like that. I think it needs to be brighter, just not as bright as I'm making it. Probably a little bit brighter than that color. So probably maybe up to here, and then we add all this here. No, I take it back. Maybe a little bit darker than this guy, so probably maybe up here. Maybe we can make a little bit more on the bluer side. And a threat? No, the knives. No, that knife's a promise. I have no knife. Do you see a knife in my possession? All I hold is an adorable little lizard being. He is no harm. He can cause no harm, even if he tried. I just wanted to highlight here, but I'm not sure if it's possible. Maybe we go up here and over here a little bit more and add the highlight bit here. You know what? Maybe if we just grab all of this guy here And then go ahead and just do control contiguous. Contiguous on you here, and just do contiguous on that there. Ooh. Oh. It's subtle, but do you notice it? Without the purple, with the purple. Without the purple, with the purple. I like it. I quite like it. Maybe we can go over here a little bit, slide that guy over. What if we add a little bit of purple in here, like that? Maybe we can get a little crazy. And that guy in here, and maybe like another purple here. Possibly, maybe. I just might be pushing it. But it's okay. It's called limit testing. Let's add this guy here, possibly like that there. And then if we grab our blacks again, so this guy here, they go up a little bit more to purple. Huh. Interesting. I kind of like it. We'll then grab this black here to make our guy here that dark black that we had earlier, and this will be the outline instead. So we can kind of modify it up there a little bit more then. But no, we're getting... They do get a little bit of quirky at night. Something like that, I think. The only issue I'm running into is the highlight. The highlight here is the pain point I'm noticing. Also here, I think we could add like a little bit more oomph to the purple here. And limit testing, leak DNA is running again. Oh boy, the amount of times I've died. I'm thinking maybe we can add, what if you had like that? I mean, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. We'll have this guy here, deal 50% for here, and then we'll do this guy here. I didn't know limit testing was just a League game reference, though. Surely people limit test in other games, or they're clearly not living. We'll then add, I think, all of this guy here, maybe a little bit brighter, possibly. Like maybe this guy here. That's pretty different. And actually, no, I take it back. That's definitely not pretty different. Maybe if we do this guy here, maybe go up a little bit more for here. You know what? Maybe if we do, maybe if I just hope like that. Maybe if we go here. Okay. I take it way back. Maybe something like that. And then if we maybe do some bits here and some bits here and here and kind of merge you in. Okay, maybe. Let's then go 50% here for anti-aliasing. About here, I think, yeah, you do about there. And then we'll add in probably, you can go there, that way you're breaking the line. Add a little bit of a highlight about here, I think. About there, hold on, about here and here, likely, and then there, and then this guy can go here. Yeah, like, no, I take it back. I don't like the highlight, but I think this can stay. And the most emo fish in the school. Hold on, it's not emo yet. Hold on. There you go. It's kind of got to do like that, though, or it's not a face. Hold on, it's missing something. There you go. It's not a face at all. Because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you. Darkness in my soul, living through the pain. Eternal death within. Oh boy, let's go ahead and save this guy here. I do like this though. Granted, right? There was my fish that I tried. This fish. Now, whether or not the fins are up to par might come back, but I really do like the rocky idea. I would have never thought to do that for fins and scales. Eternal death with fin. Oh boy, the skull was made to rot. Let's go ahead and save this here. Let's next try out the kind of chainmail ideas. I drag this guy over to here, and then let's see. So back to the colors that we had. Let's go ahead and grab this guy. I'm just going to drag you over to this area. And let me get a little bit of water here. And I can't believe already almost 3 hours have passed. Can you? Let me get a little bit of... Actually, you know what? Apex are going to start anyway soon. since we're starting on the next one, let's do them now. That way we don't have to worry about running into them a little bit later. And Aseprite, don't worry, if you get ads, we won't do anything. Well, maybe we'll just do more evil songs while we're waiting, and I'll get a little bit of water. And my nose, I need to blow my nose as well. So give me 1 second here as I can get the tissue. And okay, I did that. Lovely. Okay, give me 1 second for my nose bit as I click the button. Thank you, Jack. Thank you. Bash you! I take it back! No, thank you! I take it all back! You're gonna krill with jokes like that! Oh, no, let me get some water here. Tasty water is all good as she starts evil laughing. I don't know what you're on about. I have never once evil laughed. I don't do evil laugh. That's not me. Okay, that got me. How lovely. Okay, that said, let's go ahead. And I have no words. That said, let me go and save this guy here. And what I'm going to... wait, we still have a minute. Never mind. Let's go ahead and do some stretching, shall we? Let's go ahead and go to the right here slowly but surely. And then we're going to go to the left here, surely but surely. And, oh, I think someone's at the apartment door. Give me 1 second here, huh? Oh, my apologies. I just realized I left you with no music. You were just sitting in silence. And it's the pun police. Oh my. Yeah, we should be good now. Let me click on you here. Click on you here. Yeah, I hope you weren't sitting in silence for too long. Let me slide this guy back up to here and the puns today are gonna grill me. I already made that joke the moment too late. And that was so spooky. I was spooked. Wrong door though. We're good. Let me go ahead and save this guy here. And with that said, let me go to you here. Zoom in a little bit. And let's see. Slide this guy down a little bit more. Okay. And so for this guy here, I tried. Oh, nice. You did. You can. I'll hand that one to you. Let's see. That one you could say was official. Or maybe I think that one was already made too. I know better! Let's go to here. And what I'm going to do is grab this guy and we're going to rotate him a little bit. Let's move him a little bit. And what layer are you? Ah, you're that layer. We need our reference layer here. Let me go and copy. Paste you. And then let's rotate you about 90 degrees. There you go. And then we're going to flip you. And now we have a proper fish to look at in terms of fins and really see what's going on here. Now, it makes me wonder, do you think when drawing this that they drew it like this and then turned it? Or do you think they drew it on its side on the first try? I wonder as I save this guy here. Okay, so the pattern with this guy seems to be descending fins in the sense of it's kind of like a staircase, and I'm firing my laser. Hold on. Hold on here as I just go ahead and grab this guy and then there you go. Oh boy. I remove this guy here, remove this layer here as I delete this bit. Okay. And back to our fish layer, what I want to do is also, is this layer okay, this is my scales. I'll grab this, my scales here. There we go. And then let's see, this is, what layer are you? I don't know what you are. You're also my scales. No, you're my scales. Yeah, but what are you? It doesn't show anything for this layer. Oh, never mind. You're part of the turtle. Huh. Hold on. Let's just drag you to the turtle layer. I don't know what you're doing up there. Okay. So my scales. And then for you, what are you? Fish. I see. You're just fish. Lovely. Okay. So we'll do it on the fish layer then. We'll then save this guy. And with that said, it seems to be the case of some sort of pattern where it is a square inside. So something like, how to best describe it? It's like this, and then more so really like that, and then you grab a different color, like for example white here, and you grab that, and then they kind of just go over each other, and there's also no bit here. So this is this type of fish or scale, something like that, and then you would just grab them and go beside each other like that. Interesting. Okay, well let's give that a try on our guy. So I'll copy, and then we'll paste, and then we'll go here, and then it seems to be the case of copy, paste here. And this might be one of those where we have to overlay it to put it on the fish as it's a little bit off, but we'll see. Copy you, paste you here, copy you, then paste you to here, and then copy you, paste you here, and then we'll go ahead and copy all of you here, paste you here. So when we go about, oh, interesting. So it's like here, you do it. Oh, huh. And then you do here? Huh. You do that, or would you do this guy's corner is taken up, and then there's no, I think then that guy's corner is taken up? So it's more so something like that there, where it's a more of a, interesting. Huh. Okay, well, we'll copy you, and then we'll go ahead and grab you here. Put you to there, I think. And I'm not sure if that's enough. We might need more. Let me see. There we go. Okay, that's definitely gotta be enough. The thing is that because of the way the fish is shaped, it has to curve around the body. So now that I'm thinking about it, maybe we can't do that as I would hope, because when you're at the bottom here, it's going to be a different shape. It's not just something you can paste on. So maybe we do a little bit of both in the sense of we know the shape that we have to do. Now we just have to apply it to our fish here. And what I'm going to do to make this simple on us is I'm going to choose 2 colors, and then we'll just modify it after that. I'm going to go ahead and grab this bit here and fill in that guy with this guy here. That way we can see things a little bit easier. And since this is the front of our fish, I'm also going to just, he looks bald! Oh my, we'll also fill this in. And here, do here, there you go. Oh, hold on, just, yeah, fill you in here, and then grab this color here, bald! Hold on. There you go. I guess he wouldn't be bald, would he just be naked? Oh my, it's adorable. We'll save this guy here and then go to our next layer. And with that said, yes, let us begin. So we have our new fish, and I'm thinking at least that we want to curve it when it goes towards the top and curve it when it goes towards the bottom. So how can we make it curve something like this? This is the shape we're going for when it comes to curving. We want it to curve here and do here. We don't want it to be flat. And now she's bald! She's bald! And she's torturing people with hair! Isn't that from Totally Spies? I had to say, I was like, oh my gosh, she's bald and she's torturing people who have hair. Was that close? It's been a second since I've heard it. Oh my. We'll go ahead and save this guy here and then good. Oh my. We'll go ahead and go to here. Have I think then this guy, but we know we don't want it to be that way, so we might do something more so like this, and then a dot here, and then oh, also it declines. We know that as well. So actually, it's going to be some more of a pattern of 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. It's the pattern. So let's go back up to here, and then let's go to hue here. So we know we want 3. Where do we want 3 at? And that must be so old. I didn't even know on the ball. It's not. I'd say it was old, but it's that type of thing where it came on late at night, a late at night cartoon, and it was a very weird cartoon as well, and it was a very girly cartoon too. So on top of that, it's like Powerpuff Girls, but even more girly, because I do think Powerpuff Girls is made for everyone. And it was so punchy, but imagine that, but even more girly. And it's a popular meme, yeah. Oh my. We go 3 here, and hi. Oh, I just said the name already. Thank you for the save. Thank you. That's a cartoon version of Charlie's Angel. I have not heard of Charlie's Angel, but it's like James Bond, I guess, but it says Totally Spies. But oh my. Thank you for the save. Saving has been done. Let's see about possibly doing something like this, right? And then after that, we have the 3. And then above the 3 is like another line. And wasn't that the thing 3D? I don't think it was 3D. I don't think so. Just so we're on the same page here. I was like, grab this guy here. It was. Let me grab this really quickly. This is what it was. This right here. There's multiple versions of it, but I remember this version of it where it was like this. Let me go and remove this bit here and go back to the Barracuda as I save you here. Okay, so we have 3 here, and then it kind of goes up. And this is where I'm not too sure. Because it kind of goes up, right? And then it goes 3 again. It goes up and then down here. And then we go 3. So something like 3, 3. This guy goes down as this guy's going down to 3. And I'm wondering, is this going to curve? How can we have it curve? This guy here doesn't seem to curve, maybe? And what TV station? Now that's pretty old, I'd say. Aired on, let's see, aired on what channel? It aired on, it says, doesn't say. Does not say that I can find. Yeah, I can't find it off the bat, so I would not be able to tell you. I definitely know it wasn't Cartoon Network, though. It was something else. Let me go to you here, then go to you here, and we go to you here, one more. And then we have you 3, and then you go down, and then you go 3, and then you go down. Also remove that. And I say Cartoon Network? I don't think it was Cartoon Network. At least that I can remember. It was on like a really weird, but maybe it was also on Cartoon Network. That could be a thing too. It could definitely have also been on there though. Have you go 3 here, and Fox and Cartoon Network. Maybe I watched it on Fox with Fox. Huh, interesting. I wouldn't have guessed. We have this guy here, and it makes me wonder, do we have to do it here, and then have it go here, and then do here, and possibly ABC? Yeah, ABC sounds more right. That definitely sounds more right. Is that a word? It sounds correct. There we are. It sounds accurate. Let me do this guy here, and then let's go ahead and do this guy here. Have this guy go there, and then have you actually go there, and then have you go here, and writer. Oh boy, 1, 2, 3. We have you go down, have this guy go here, and then have you go here. Actually, is that right? Something doesn't feel right. But you know what? It's okay. We can have a few outliers. This is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then this is 1, 2, 3. That would be 1, 2, 3 here. And you'd add a line there. You add a line here. Add a line here. This guy here would be 1, 2, 3 about here. And then the line would go here, and that would go here about there. And actually, truth be told, maybe we can get away with. Actually, no, we can't. Oh, interesting. Maybe we can just kind of grab you and move you in like by 1. Yeah, let's move you in by like 1 here. There we go. Okay. And then let's go back to our fiche scales here and continue. So we know that our 1, 2, 3 guy would go 1, 2, 3 here. And then after that 1, 2, 3, you go down by like another 2. So it would be 1, 2 here. And then you go back to 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, that would go here, I think. And is this the potential? Is this for a potential game or just studying species? Just studying species. The thing is, I would like to make other games at some point. Currently, I'm working on a cafe game. Technically speaking, the cafe game could have fish that you serve. The hope is to learn different aspects of games and arts so that I can eventually, and that's fair, could it print out? Yeah. This eventually. I can do a little bit of everything all the time. Let's see, probably that there, right? That would be the 3. And then we have you here, and then we have, let's see. Probably I can have you go here, and then have you go here and here. Oh, hold on, that would go there, I think. And then we'd have you go, let's see. Probably have you go, maybe, how can we describe that pointy arrow bit? I'm not too sure. We can definitely do something like that. That doesn't quite look right. So I might just do something here with 2 lines. I think it might work better. Have this then go here and have this then be our 3 line there. Yeah, I think that works out better. And have that guy kind of go underneath and then have this go as that bit there. And then we can kind of have the line there, I think is fine. And then have this guy go here, and then this is the down line here. Have this then be another down line, and then have this again be another down line. Have this again be another down line that's kind of going down. Something like that, I think could work. And then we'll save this guy here. I'll very quickly copy this area and have to go. No worries at all, chick. No worries at all. And good luck with things not getting scaly down to the rod. Now that's a stretch. But I like your ambition. Oh my. Thank you for stopping by and chatting for a bit, chick. I hope you have a lovely, lovely one. We'll go ahead and save this guy here. And let's go ahead and see about... Actually, we'll merge you down. I think you're fine to be merged down. We'll grab this guy here. I just don't want to make a mistake. I'm okay with making mistakes, but I want my mistakes to be forgiving. I want to be forgiven. That's the thing. So we'll zoom back into here. So for our fish, I kind of want to try a similar coloring feel, as I really do like the colors here. So we're gonna merge them a little bit in the sense of how we can see here that there are, at least when it comes to areas in the bottom, darker, and areas in the lighter area are brighter. So what I'm thinking is, at least for areas, for example, at the bottom here, we can kind of have it go up like how we did it before. All of this will get dark lines. So I'm thinking probably this is going to get a dark line. This is going to get a dark line. Likely here is going to get a dark line. And then these guys here also get a dark line. So all of these guys here will get a different color change. All of you here, all of you here. And actually, we're going to need to make this even darker. So this is going to get this dark outline here. So let's go ahead and add that in. Add this guy in here as well. And then let's go ahead and add in. This is Bill. You go there. And then this bit here is our darker line. So you get a darker line here. You get a darker line. You get a darker line. Everybody gets a darker line. Oh, as we remember too, is that our light or our dark color also goes across the top. So that is important to keep in mind too. So I'm actually going to make this guy here a different color, I think. Or at least make it different enough to be, yeah, I like that. So we'll make all of this here too go across the top here. So I'm thinking maybe we have all of this here, definitely going to be our black. Now granted, I don't know how much of it, but I do know at the very top is going to be. So kind of go here, I'm guessing, have it kind of go there, maybe have it go here, here. And then when it gets down here for darker, we'll deal with that in a second. Have it go down there. And then I think at least have this guy go up by like a little bit more for some areas. That way we have a highlightier area in there. And then I want to grab a brighter gray here. Go for maybe this sort of bluish tone that's not as dark. Make you a brighter area at the very top here, since this is all the front. Let's go here for a more so brighter area in this spot here. And then I want to also make this guy a little bit darker. To make this guy a little bit darker. Do we have a darker color here? We do, but it's kind of like the outline, and I don't know how I feel about that. So can we make this guy brighter? If we can't go darker, can we go brighter? We can technically go brighter if we do something like this here and grab the lighter color, that's our darker color down there. So something like that there, and we keep to the blue there. There we go. Okay. So I'm thinking this here for the rounding of the edge. Now we can start to add our colors. So we know for sure that this is going to be a gray color, and this is where it gets a little bit tricky again. So I'll start off by just grabbing this here, and I'll also make sure to do all the outline across here like that. And then let me go ahead and grab this guy here. Now, for our highlight bits, this is where I'm not too sure. I'm thinking at least we can either go for darker or lighter. How can we do this? We need it to be a darker gray color, but not too dark. Close, not too close. Maybe we can make it in this color instead then, so something like this. And then we'll see about doing a lighter gray. Still gray, but just a little bit lighter. So probably bluish gray here could work. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It looks different enough, especially when we're doing contrast, that I think it could pass. So we're going to do this guy here. Probably do that there. I do want to keep the arrow idea, so we might just do here and here, something like that there. No, that needs to be arrow. It needs to be arrow. So we'll do arrow there, and then on this side is where we'll do the other color. So we'll do the arrow here, all across this line. Oh, actually, no, that keeps the top. So that's all the dark color. And then we have our white, which is going to be a little bit of a different color. So I'll grab this guy here, and we know that this bit here is going to be that. And then this is another color we can use. Oh, no, it's the same exact color. Okay, that's fine. We'll grab all of you here, since you're also darker color. All of this guy here gets darker color. They can also make that guy there, because I do like that dot being for that spot. And I kind of do like having the little mouth there. I think that's cute. So we'll keep that. And then we'll go ahead for all of this bit here and make it all darker, because it is part of the dark side. So we'll do that there, that there, that there. Next up then, what we'll do is I add the little line here. We need to make all of this a little bit lighter. So I'm thinking at least what we can do is either go up or modify it with the colors that we already have. I think this can work because it's the darker blue. So we'll also go ahead and add all of this here, since it is all of our darker blue area. So this kind of gives us the sections. We have all of this is lighter, then this guy here is darker, and then this bit here is our black, and this part here is our white. And then we'll also add in this line here, I think, as just a highlight. And with that said, what is the next part of our fiche? It seems to be the case of some areas are a little bit darker, some areas are a little bit lighter. So we're going to add some dots to some of these spots. It seems like we're also going to add some darker areas in other parts. That's meaning that for our areas that kind of blend in, let's start off by anti-aliasing them. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this color here. We'll go across the bottom here, and anywhere it touches, we'll add in that dark color here. So that's our halfway point. And then for this color here, do we want to add a little bit of anti-aliasing to merge it with the fin? You know what? I'm not too opposed to that, actually. Maybe if we do you here, go about 50% for you here, and go about here, and then you here. Yeah, that's not too bad, I'd say. Kind of blends in a little bit. Let's then see about doing you here. So you're going to be 50%, which is about here. So 50% there, and then 50% here to kind of blend it with the bottom. And then we'll also maybe do here 50% since it's also supposed to be darker here. Then what we're going to do for the 50% for here, we're just going to be grabbing this guy. Oh, hold on if it lets me. Grabbing this guy, and we'll put it here. I'll then put you, let's see here. We'll put you, I think that's it. We're merging these two areas now. So I can grab this darker guy here, merge you. I'd say probably there would be your best bet. This guy here would also get merged down, so you get that color. You probably get that color here. You probably get that color here. You'd also probably get that color here and here. And then we have this color merging with that color, so we can kind of go maybe a little bit 50% about here and here. But I kind of like it going down a little bit more, so maybe we'll go for the darker color here instead. So something like that can go down, maybe. Have it kind of go down there to look like it's blending a little bit more with our grayer tones. And I'm actually thinking maybe we can move you up to there a smidge. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. And then what we'll do is, in these areas here, anything we want to modify, I do want to go for the pointy thing. So maybe we can have, that's the pointy area there. Actually, we can't. This is the pointy edge. So for this, I'm going to go and add some highlights in some areas. Let's go up a little bit more. Actually, we have highlights. Let's just grab the highlights that we have. So like a highlight here, highlight here, highlight here. And then we can see about adding a highlight for this gray. So go up a little bit more. Add a little bit of a highlight here, maybe a little bit higher, highlight here more so. Yeah, I think that works. We can even add maybe another highlight here in the back. It's the back, so it's not as light, but I think it can kind of work as it's getting a little bit dimmer. So still a little bit scaly, but a little bit more dim. Let's go up a little bit more here, slide over. I think this is darker. Yeah, it's a little bit darker. So something here along the edges as it's getting a little bit darker. And then here, maybe we can also add another highlight. And then here, let's see. For darker parts, there's no highlight, but there's kind of a darker area. So maybe what we can do here instead is go a little bit darker here, a little bit darker here, and add in kind of shadows. The very bottom edge here, something like that I think can work. And then we can also add a shadow here. And then we can see about even making it darker, a little bit more purpley blue all along this line. And I want to make sure, are we still doing good with our, yep. But notice, right, how this area here of the fins, not very clear. I can't really see it. So is there something we can use compared to, for example, here? I can't see it either. Oh, can I see it in my regular guy? Yeah, I can. Huh. Is there something we can use for contrast to make this guy more obvious? We could use that color. That's a little more obvious. So maybe we do this guy here to make it pop out a little bit more, but it's still not very obvious. So maybe we can up it a little bit more here for this color. Does that make it more obvious? Not quite what the colors we're going for. So maybe I can grab my purple here and add it to these guys here. So the purple here blends in. So maybe we go for purple here, like kind of mixy purple, possibly here, here, and here, and here, which also doesn't get us quite close enough. So maybe we can go for, well, first I want to grab that mixy purple, just add it a little bit along the bottom. But I'm thinking at least our gray here is going to have to be either a different color like this, and then, yeah, I think that might work best, having it as a different color. So we'll go ahead and do that guy here. And then what we'll do is also grab this guy here because I did like having that line. So we'll add the line here again, add the 50% about here-ish, and do it about here and about here and here, about like that there. And then we can see also about having the line up here and also having it come up here. Also doing a little bit like that and then having it 50% about here-ish. So grab that color about here and have it kind of come out here. And maybe we can also do another 50% about here, so it's not too similar, about there. And then we can also see about having one probably there-ish back here. Yeah, probably there maybe. So go about 50% here, grab you here, and put you about probably there. Actually, no, there. Yeah, that way it doesn't look like, hopefully, it's blending in with everything. Even up here, we can also add another highlight. So possibly what we can do is go up here, add another jot about in these areas here for some of our highlighty bits. And then we can also add a little bit of variety by adding a little bit more highlight, a little bit more oomph in some areas. Not all, just some. Some scaly bits can get a little bit more shimmy shine. Add a little bit more, add a little bit more here. Probably there. Is that too much shimmy shine? I'm looking up here to see, and actually, I think that's fine. We can also see about adding a little bit of shimmy shine, not much, in some areas back here, at least close to the front. Something like that there to add a little bit more of a fishy pattern, hopefully. And then it seems to be the case that there's also some dark bits across areas that overlap a little bit more. So possibly what we can do is go here, for example, and have it go down for a darker bit here. Maybe we add a darker bit here. Maybe we add a darker bit in these areas, but it's a little bit hard to because I can't see quite well. But maybe we can add a darker bit here, darker bit here, darker bit here to show it's kind of going down and getting darker. Maybe see about adding a darker bit here to also emphasize the fact that it's underneath. So possibly add a darker bit there. And I think, I don't like those dots. That's what I think. That's exactly what I think. What if we did like a lighter gray? How about that? That lighter gray blends in with everything, so it doesn't even matter. So you know what? Yeah, I think the lighter, darker dots are okay. Okay, something like that I'm thinking as a different idea. So mini pebbles versus bigger rocks gives off a different feel entirely, I can say. And what we're also going to do is go back to the eye here super duper quickly. That way I can grab the eye here. And actually I'm just going to, don't mind me, fish. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy you here. And then I'm going to paste you to be, hold on. Do a little bit of surgery here. And then copy you back to being here, copy you. And then we're going to go ahead and move you here, copy and paste. And also paste you here, as I do like the little bit more vibrancy on the eye. There's one more fish, and we should be able to get to it. And then we can see about modifying the fins too, as something's off with the fins, I can say that as well. And we can get to it, which is also great news for us. And now look how our glorious little no longer bald boy has evolved. Sniff, sniff, how they grow up so fast. Let me slide this guy over here, make him a little bit like that. That way we can see all of the modifications and stuff. And erase that guy here, erase that guy. Okay, so that said, let's go ahead and save. There's 2 more guys here that we can take into account, right? 2 more guys? Yep. Tuna more guys, if you will. We'll go ahead and grab this here and then we'll slide you over. And then we can see as I zoom in a little bit. So for this guy, I have the colors right here. We should be fine. If I just slide it about there, yeah, you should be fine. You should be okay. Let me get a little bit of water here. And let me also make sure the thingamajinkies are functional as I click on. Where is that? That button there? No, it's that button. Yep, it is. Click on that button here, go to that button there, and you got a tuna fish. Oh no, you can't tuna fish. Let's see, good here. Yep, just wanna check. We are good. Lovely. Okay, let me click on you then. Tasty. That all said and done, let me go ahead and grab my pen here, and let's see. So, in the sky, it seems to be the case it's more on the dithering side of things. There's a little bit of highlights here. There is some areas where it is blocky, but for the most part, it kind of feels like the pixel art of the day in the sense of where there were big areas and big chunks, and because it's so small, we also won't be able to do it quite much, but I think it's still possible in some areas of our fish here. So let's give it a try and see. The thing we're going to do first is start off by changing the colors a little bit because I do like the purples. The purples feel quite nice. So we're going to grab you here. We're going to set you to be that color here. Oh, wrong layer. That color here. And then this color is going to be more so of that purpley color here. And then we're also going to make you this color here. And then we're going to make you that color here, but I can't really... Oh, no, there we go. No, hold on. There we go. Okay. So it's that color there, that color there. It's more so this color here that kind of blends in with that other color. We want to go for this color, actually. You know what? Yeah, let's go for bold and brash. Or it's bold and daring. We'll grab this guy here. We'll then grab this color here, as this is our bit there. We then know that this guy here is actually going to be more so like a little bit more so like that up here. So it's kind of like that there. I like it. Like that. Is it darker? It's not much darker, truth be told. Maybe more so. Oh no, that is the darker one we have, don't we? Like that there, kind of like that. It's a little bit too dark for my liking. Possibly here. That's not too bad. And then we'll go here. Also make sure that you are our new outline. Like that. Add all of you guys here. Add you there. And then that's 3. And this guy here is another 3 or 2, depending on how you're feeling for the day. Okay. I think this is good enough to be an idea, at least. And then we can kind of see about meshing him a little bit. The hope is we save this guy here, for example. And we know that this is going to be shiny, as this is our shiny color. So let's see about adding a shiny area up here. We want to add a highlight right about there, I'd say. So to do that, I'd see much of what I say. Yes, indeed. I'm thinking at least of having a light go here. Actually, we're going to move it up here a little bit more. That way we can see the difference between all of the lighting bits. I'm also going to think about adding that there, but I kind of like having the mouth. And then this bit here is also going to be a little bit of a highlight area. So that's going to get hidden or splashed with light. We also are going to have this guy here splashed with a little light on the situation. And then we're also going to do this guy here and see about adding in the merging of this bit here and that bit there. And then let's see about anti-aliasing it a smidge. So we'll go here 50%. And this bit here is kind of going to go there and there. I think can work out there and there. And then this bit here is going to go again 50% so that we can anti-alias it. I'm going to put you about there and there. Kind of hopefully merging them, but not quite yet. We have them merging with other areas around the side. But for this area here is where it can kind of get a little bit finicky, I'm wondering. And because it's so small, it's a little bit hard to see about doing, but we're going to try. What I'm going to do is see about doing either something like this, and then maybe we can do like that a little bit. That is one way we can mesh the colors together. but I'm not sure how I feel about it. There's also kind of maybe wrapping this around, having it kind of come in here. But I don't know how I feel about that as well. Maybe we can kind of do something like that there. Maybe we do that. And then I'll grab an anti-alias and go about here and make you go up here and here. Possibly go here and here and here. Have this guy kind of go down then. And then maybe have you kind of go a little bit more in areas here, here, and here. Possibly something like that for a highlight. It's not quite what I was going for, but it's going to have to work because it's so tiny. So we'll do it over here too, where we'll grab our 50%. You get about 50%. We want to make sure you don't look like you're merging. So either it goes here or it needs to go back a little bit more. And I'm actually inclined to make you maybe go back here. Actually, let's just make this go up by like there. I think that works. I think that's fine. And we'll have you maybe go back by 1. I think looks a little bit nicer. So probably there. Yeah, okay. And then we'll have this guy go inwards a little bit more so you can kind of go across. Probably like that. We'll go 50%, grab our 50% key about here. Have you go actually there, I think, and then there to blend in that spot. And then again, we'll have it kind of go up and down in certain areas to kind of merge it together. So we'll have this guy go down, possibly have this guy then go up here. Have this guy go up here, I think, too, to just hopefully merge them. And then we'll have this guy go about 50%, go about there, see about going there. Actually, no, that's 50% for this guy. So grab you, actually going to be you, and you go here and here. And then we'll see about adding in, maybe possibly guy there to hopefully see about adding it in. I'm actually going to also make this guy go up by 1, I think, so that's not too long. As it's kind of just hopefully coming across the path here is the hope of all of this area merging together with the other one. You can even see about adding in like a darker color here to hopefully merge them together. Maybe add in kind of a bit there, maybe a bit here to blend it. And then here again, we can have it kind of go down and have it go up and down. So 50% about here, grab you here, and then grab you, probably glue like this here can maybe work, something like that there. But this guy is always so, it's not as dark as it needs to be. So like a 50% probably, and have it then go here and here and here. That way it's not too similar. Probably maybe go that there and have it kind of go there. Maybe, and then have this guy here go about 50% and do about here and here and here. I could see that sort of kind of working out. And then we have this area here. Let's go ahead and do 50% about here, and then this guy here. Now, do we want to do 50% of this, or do we want to do this? I think we can move this guy here, and then have this guy go about 50% for here, 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 and here. For all of that ledge, this guy can also be about 50% there, then about 50% for you, so 50% for you there. And hi, Shatter Fantasy Studio. Welcome in the stream. Welcome in. The eye is staring into your soul. Good. He's supposed to be staring into your soul, and he's I've always drawn angry eyebrows. I've never drawn happy eyebrows. I was going to say he's very happy to see you. Maybe like that. Oh boy. Welcome in the stream. Now welcome in and welcome back. I hope you've been well. As I slide this guy possibly down a little bit more like that, add a little bit more like that, and then we can kind of see also about adding in that there, and it's a ponderfish. Yes. Oh my, a ponderfish that lives in the pond. We'll add that guy here, add that guy into there, see about adding it into there, add that into here. See about merging those two guys about here-ish, see about merging you here, about here maybe, and that reminded me of the French hat for some reason, but like I was trying to say, and the last one was wee woo, and the last one's giving he's concerned for your health. Oh my, he's just a little, I could say a little bit concerned, just a smidge. Let's then add in this bit here for our 50% and get out of you here. We'll also do a little bit of 50%, I think, in those areas here for where it's kind of merging around. I kind of want to add a dark spot here, but I'm not too sure how yet. And then I want to see about also adding in our highlight zones. So I'm thinking at least we can kind of get away with doing a little bit brighter and a little bit brighter here. And add some dots here. So like a dot right here. And then add a dot a little bit brighter right about here in this area here. Like that. Can that work? I don't know. I don't know if I just over-textured him or something, but I mean, it doesn't look too bad. You know what? I take it in. We take it. We'll then grab this guy here, also add in our little highlight that we did at the bottom before, as I do like that as well. And then we'll grab you here, go for about here and here. Now this one, I can't say is the simplest. Just because it's the simplest doesn't mean it's easy. And then we'll grab you here, go you about here. We'll go about 50%, I'd say, probably here, and then also do you here. Actually, no, do you here. There we go. Okay, and then I want to add an area here too. I also want to grab you and do about 50% for that spot there. And then, let's see, yeah, for here, I would want to do something maybe a little bit lighter. Like, could it be a reflection on the bottom? Like that there? You know what? That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Kind of like a bounce light was the hope. We grab our purple bounce light from before and add like a little line here. Well, that is our purple bounce light. Okay, go a little more purple. Like up a little bit more, slide you over to purple, a little bit more purple, a little bit more saturated. It's like, no, up a little bit more. Probably up here. That can work. That can definitely work. Something about here-ish. And then we can take this guy, go about 50%. Add you about here, I think, there. Add you maybe there, and remove you there. So it's got a little bit more color in that spot here is my hope. I also want to see about making this guy just a little bit darker in this spot. So we'll go, actually, I said a little bit darker. A little bit darker in this spot, so we're going to go a little bit darker. Is that too dark? You know what? I think you can work. I think that's workable. We'll see about adding in all of this bit. I want to do, actually, there, I'm thinking, and that way we can kind of have it go out a little bit more. We'll then see about doing 50% here, do 50% here, 50% here. The grays are a little bit confused now because we've added different tones, but that's okay. You can see. I also want to do something like this here. See about adding in, possibly 50% for you here, you there, and then add in, possibly down there for line. Add this guy, 50%. It's going to be this color here. Add you kind of there and there, I think. Have you then kind of come, let's see. You go here and here. And this bit is a little bit too sharp. So actually, I think we do something like that, but I think it goes more so there. Yeah, I can get behind that. So we have a little purple here. I want to also add like maybe a little bit more saturated blue here. So we go up here, add a little bit more saturated blue about down here. We're getting crazy. I know we're getting crazy, but it's okay. It's okay. We're trying things and limit testing. That's the same excuse I'm going to keep using because it works. I'll go up here a little bit more saturation. Go here maybe, and go up a little bit more. A little bit more to up about here-ish. Maybe up here. Yeah, okay. This color I think is a good one. It kind of pops, but not quite. Have you pop a little bit more. Have you pop a little bit more, a little bit brighter. Something here where I can see it on the screen. Up here, possibly. Hold on. Do that guy here. Undo you here. Why, does it keep undoing the color itself? Interesting. I didn't know it did that. Slide you up a little bit more. Yeah, okay. I think this is good. It's just different enough to give a little bit more oomph. So I'm going to add it about here, I think. And then we can go again, 50%. And just keep blending. That is the point of anti-aliasing. And sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of times I do think there are ways to overblend. So my hope is here that we don't do that. I don't know how well that's going to go, but I'm going to try to not SID overblend here. I think it's just subtle. I just want subtle colors on our little guy here. That's all I'm going for. Maybe like a pop of purple up here we could add, but that's kind of pushing it a little bit too much, I think. But maybe we can do this guy here as our darker color. It's not too bad. That's not too bad. I think the darker color we have at the moment is too dark. So maybe if we just do this here, this here, this here, and this here, still darker purplish colors, not as heavy maybe. And that said, any other spots I can think to add? Not really. I think I've anti-aliased as much as I can anti-alias on this guy here. So 4 different fish. Which one do you think you prefer? I quite like the first one. I think, and second one. This is my own. Then this is the first one. We'll say that's the first one. Second one, third one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I like the fish. Thank you, Iso Falcon. Thank you for liking the fish. The hat. The hat is not a part of the equation, Eska. I think I like 2 the most. We have about 30 minutes left, and I think it might be enough time to look at how to draw fins. And can we make your fish look out halfway out of the fish hat mouth, like he's hiding inside? Do you mean like one of those tongue fish? Oh boy, let's just go to you here, grab you fish here, copy you here, then go back to you here, and then go to you here, and then just kind of do and like, like that, Eska. Oh, looks like one of those parasite fish if I had to guess. Let me go ahead and let's see about looking at fins. And there's always a bigger fish. Imagine if it was a fish and a fish and a fish and a fish and a fish. Oh my. Let's go ahead and now remove this guy here. Let's take a look at fish cannon. The fish launcher. This is a handle. That would be art. Magnifique. Let's take a look at how they do fins for our fish. Taking a look at these guys here. Simple, very simple. I always wonder if it's worth it taking a look at really old game sprites, but I think it is. Even if there's not a lot of color going on here, I think it's still important to take a look at the use of color and fishception. It's official. Oh my, let's slide this guy over here. I'm looking for fish, if you wouldn't mind. So for their fish, how they do it is they have it white and then like lines across it. Granted, remember, mine is so tiny that I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but we can try. We definitely can. Let's see as I'm looking through all of these guys. Yeah, they keep it white and wavy. White and wavy. For this fish hat, it's also silvery. It's not a different color, which is interesting. I would think to make the fish fin a different color, but that's not the case. Yeah, for this guy here, it's a different color, but it's not like a see-through color. For this guy here, nope. Let's see, is that all for this game? Yep, and then we have, oh, I'm gonna have to go back to our Traveler's Rest, hold on. Traveler's Rest, I want the fish from Traveler's Rest, if you would not mind, please. Item icons, yep, grab that guy, I wanna take a look at that too. So oh, we didn't take a look at Terraria fish. I completely forgot about these little guys here. Terraria fish do have some scaling going on. Would you take a look at that? I completely didn't see them there. Also, fish from Shovel Knight. This is a whale from Undertale Yellow. Fish from Shovel Knight, no scales. And Terraria, yeah. Take a look at this catfish man. No scales here, so that's good to note. And for the fins, also, just one solid color, and the edges are a little bit highlighted. Interesting. For Terraria here, look at that little guy. He's quite cute. I feel like that would be right at home with my little turtle. We'll definitely have to do small goldfish at some point, I think. Just teeny tiny fish. Here, not many, what's it called? Not many scales, looking at it. This guy kind of has the pattern of like lines. Yeah, that we saw earlier. This guy here too. Lots of line, lots of dithering, it seems like. Dolphin. Let's see, so you zoom out to here. And again here, the gills aren't a different color. Or rather, they're not trying to be see-through. They're staying. And Terraria is so ascertainably different. Oh, hold on. Terraria is so ascertainable despite the tiny size. Perfect pixel placement. My guess is that you mean accurate or pretty close to being what you would guess it'd be like. Possibly. Let me slide this guy back over here. I believe it is the case of so. And then what I'm going to do, and yeah, I learned a new word, ascertainable. Haven't heard that one before. Let me slide you to, here, Stardew Valley. So for Stardew Valley fish, again, they don't try to be see-through. They stick with the idea of being solid colors. So I think we're gonna have to go solid. Solid, and try to choose colors and see how we feel about them. Lastly was Traveler's Rest. And if we go back down to these guys, I mean, here you can see that it's kind of like a tan color, but it's not trying to be see-through. It's a solid color. Even here, solid color. Okay. Oh, look at that swordfish. And then look at this thing. I don't know what you are. I don't know why you have teeth like that. You're probably a chucklefish. Oh, no. I see. All right, we'll go for solid color. And try to do it a little bit differently. Even here you can see solid colors face, yeah, like a pug. And now he's being a clownfish. Oh, I remember this guy from in SpongeBob. I don't remember what type of fish it is, but I remember seeing them. And hi, cool, awesome person. Welcome into stream. Welcome in. And oh, you're live. Yeah, I am live indeed for another 30-ish minutes. I guess technically 20-ish minutes with welcome into stream. Welcome in. As I take a look at, let's see. Yeah, okay. We will attempt to do the theme here, as I will grab my pen. Where'd my pen go? Pen has been found! So we'll save you here. And then, let's try to update our fiends here. So what I want to do is, I want to make this guy first. And I'm checking my scales. What are you? My scales? Ah, I see. My scales here, my shiny part of the fish. Good, okay. I am very glad I did end up also saving the scales, as it did help. It definitely did help. And my fish, did I merge down a layer I shouldn't have? No. So, my scales is that. What are you? Huh. Okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and drag and drop you. You're going to be a part of my scales. There we go, okay. And then we'll make a new layer here under fish, or above fish, I mean. And we'll save this to be fins. And now, let us attempt to add some fiends to our fish that feel a little bit nicer. So what I'm thinking is, at least, let's try a solid color and go from there. In this case, our fish has, I think we can get away with doing something yellow. I like the idea of complementing that yellow, orange. I like the idea of complementing him. So if we go for something a little bit more yellowy, like this guy here, it could possibly, it's too saturated. Yeah, I want to see if we can make it stand out a little bit more. I'm thinking maybe this color, though, we can see. I'm also going to select all of this so I can just very quickly, hold on here. Actually, no, I can't. Never mind. We can't select all of it. I just want to very quickly go over these guys and add this color here just so that we have something to reference off of. Grab you here, grab you here, grab you here, grab you here, all of you guys here, grab all of you here, erase you there, grab you here, and grab all of these. Then we're gonna move them and flip them all around and grab a little bit of you there. There we go. Okay, and then I'm thinking either we can go for the color that we see with the eyes. I kind of like it. If we go then for this color here, like that guy there, we add it in. Also, I'm wondering, yeah, it's going to be tricky to figure out a color that would work for everywhere else. But just take a look at this. Having that pop color as the eye, as well as the fins, I think either the fins should be, or you know what? They usually say to follow the rule of three when it comes to colors, in the sense that if you have a primary color, a complementary color, and an accent color. Your accent color is very limited. Your primary color, I think, takes up, let's see. It's probably maybe a 50-20-30 rule is the best way to describe it. 50% of your primary color, 30% of your, no, probably 50-40-10 if I had to guess. So I'm thinking at least we make the 50% the blue, then instead of doing yellow, we're going to make this here our 40. Our fins are going to be purple, which is going to be our 40, and then maybe our 10 can be the orangey colors. That's another idea I have, I think could work out well. The question is, can we get it to look proper? And I'm not too sure. I mean, that color kind of sort of works. And then maybe if we go for like a lighter color here. Oh. Ooh. You know what? I do like that. I do like it. Huh. Okay. So if we grab those colors there, then let's see, just taking a look at these guys. Some of them have lines, some of them don't. Oh, you know what? We can also add lines now that we have no lines in our art anymore. And now we've gone a little past 3 colors on this guy. Remember, when I say 3 colors, I mean main colors. When you look at a piece, whether it's light blue, dark blue, blue, maroon, or cyan, I'm counting it as blue. Blue is the one color. This example, I'd say that there is purple, blue, and orange as the 3 main colors. Then you have the black and the white that you could count, or you might not count. But I'd say 3 colors. 3 colors is what's going on here. Purple, blue, and orange are the 3. So we'll go ahead and save this guy here. I would then like to see about adding a bit of a darker purple here. There we are. There. Yeah, the thing is, I realized that helps a little bit, because if you count all 3 shades as different colors, then when you're trying to describe an amount of colors, it starts to become really big. I'm thinking maybe we go for this guy here, have him go as the back fin here, have him as the back fin here, have him as the back fin about here, and here is the underside, Have you then as the underside about here and here, so it's kind of popping out possibly, and then also you as the back fin here. Maybe make you a little bit darker as something there, I think could work. Maybe have you even as that guy, hold on here. Maybe have you as that, I kind of like that. I think that's fine. We'll then see about getting a lighter color about up here, add a little bit of a highlight. I take it back, no highlight for you. Sorry! I'll see also about adding in a little bit of anti-aliasing possibly for this bit here. Also add it there. And see about for this bit, we don't want you to merge in. We don't really need you to merge in, but you can kind of merge in. We grab this color here and put that there. And then this color here can kind of have that color there that's kind of merging in. And then this color here can also maybe see about going 50% about here. Maybe we can see about going something like that there. To add a little bit more oomph, that way we can grab our 50% about there. There we are. And then we'll also want to make sure we have anti-aliasing around the edges, but that's okay. We don't need that right this second. Next up, what we're going to do is add our lines, I'm thinking. So we'll go up to here, now we could do lighter lines or we could do darker lines. I think lighter lines might work out a little bit better. So we're going to see about adding in lighter lines about here. And we can see also about possibly adding in a little bit of lightning for this area here to make it look like it's coming out a little bit more. So like a little lightning eye here. And then have you kind of go here, and then maybe have you kind of go here, and then maybe have you go, let's see. Can you do a lightning? Kind of like that, I guess, would be our lightning boil here, and also a lightning boil about here, I think. Or we could do stripes too, that's another option. I think lines here are good because they show off the form. So maybe we can do something like that there. And I'll copy this guide because I don't know how to do it in another angle, about there-ish. And then we can see about possibly maybe making it line. No, actually, no, I don't like that. Maybe we can do something here and here. Yeah, I like that a little bit more. So do this guy here and do that guy there. No, I take it back, I take it back. Don't like it. I take that back. We'll do you here, you here, you here, you here. And instead do this here, that there, and then have it go here. And yeah, I like that a little bit more. Something there. And then what we'll do is have a little bit of anti-aliasing around our edge bits. And is that the same color? Okay, it is the same color. So for example, here we have that bit that kind of needs to be 50%. So we'll go around here, 50%. We need to have 50% about here. I'd say here. We'll have 50% about here, probably here. Can we make you go out by like one more about here-ish, I'd say. And have you go here, and then have you go about there. Yeah. And then we'll have you go here, here, probably. I can have you kind of come out here, I think. Probably have you go there. No, I take it back. We will keep that 50% guy there. Grab you as our main color because you are the color I'm trying to mix here. And we'll do you, I think, here, here, here. Add you there, add you here, and then do 50% about here-ish. We can see about doing. And then this guy here can also see about doing 50% here. As a little bit more oomph is the hope, at least. And then we'll grab our main color again, go about you here, and make sure you're there. I'd say probably there. So let's see, there, and there. Can maybe work, and we have you here and here as well. And then we can also see about adding a little bit of highlight. So probably up here, go up a little bit more for more of that shimmy shine. So something here, maybe add you here, add you here, add you here, add you here and here. For a bit more oomph is the hope, but I'm not sure how I'll feel about that. Maybe if we go up, and as I drag this guy up a little bit more so I can see it a little bit clearer. As we go up here, and slide you over to be about here, and save you to be about there. How about that color? Yeah, maybe a little bit more subtle. Subtlety is not dead. Something like that there, maybe, can work out a smidge better. Maybe we can also go up a little bit more. So about up here, slide you over a little bit more. Have you go here, here, here. Oh, hold on. Here. Oh, you know what? Actually, I take it back. Let's not do that. Let's just keep it as that color. Or do we? No, I've been taking things back a lot. And we keep it, I think. I think we keep it. I kind of like it. I think it works. So, as a refresher, we had this versus this. And I do think the purple fins feel nicer. I would either do purple or orange. So there's that fin type. We also seem to have, we're checking other fins. What's another idea we can do? I can see thick lines going, oh, you know what? Actually, if we do something like, hold your horses here. We grab that guy here. Add a little bit more to this guy here, and then add a little bit more here. Do about there. Ooh. Ooh, hold on. Up there. Add a little bit more oomph possibly here. Is that, yeah, that would work. About here, and then add a little bit more to, you'd probably get a little bit more oomph about here. Maybe here. You know what this makes it look like? It makes it look like those, I forget what they're called. They're the fish, the fancy fish you can get at the pet store that are always very cheap. Beta fish. It looks like a beta fish. That's what I'm thinking of. That there. Have you kind of go here and has a pointy bit there. And then have you go out here. I kind of like the idea of doing as we kind of have you go out here and have you go here and then maybe one more about here. Actually, have you go here and then do something like that there. Oh, yeah. And then have you kind of come out one more. Like that. You know, it's starting to feel like a crystal fish. But I'm not sure how I feel about it. Crystal fish. We'll add you there. Possibly add another guy here and do kind of like that there and that there. And then maybe we can add another guy about here and here. And I don't know. I was going for a realistic fish and I somehow ended up here. I don't know how I got here. Send help when you can. There and there. Yeah, I like it. It's not exactly what it should be. And, you know, even the thing of, I could see it being an argument too of not even having yellow. If we make you that color there. Interesting. What's a complimentary? Oh, I guess complimentary complimentary color. Oh boy, we could do something a little bit softer on you there. Yep, complimentary color. I wasn't even trying to do it, and it just happened. I'm cursed, I tell you. Possibly like that there. I'm just wondering, is there a different color we can use for the eyes? Something a little bit more on the orangey side. Not too orangey. And group, let's see, you here, something like that there I think can work. But it doesn't really work. I think we might just have to keep it as is. And I think we will. Pon's as bad as a week-old fish now. It stinks, I tell you, it stinks. I don't think we'll have another time or more time for when we're fed. We don't. Maybe we can squeeze it in, but I do have to say, you know, granted, it's technically, and I feel like I keep turning these fish magical. It started off with the turtle, and we went from actual turtle to this. And I've slowly gone away from realism, and I've just gone to fantasy. And I don't know how to feel about it. We have this quote-unquote turtle, and then we have this right here, which is definitely not, it's not that. Not a fantasy. Yeah, it's more fun. Can you blame me for having an imagination? Also, let me pull up the fish I was talking about earlier, just so we're all on the same page. It's kind of like the, what is it called? The Goldine. Goldine, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, Goldine's kind of looks like a little bit of a beta fish. Beta fishes, and speaking of imagination, here, you can see beta fish look a little, and they're so pretty too. Here we are. Very pretty. Take a look at these guys. You see how they have that kind of flowy look to them? Definitely like Goldine, if I had to guess. Especially because it's such a low-level Pokemon. But they're always so pretty. I can't say that too. Is that they have like this frilly pattern. It's like peacocks, if I had to guess. Yeah, I feel like that is pretty close. Let me zoom out here and taking a look at this. And then take a look at, hold on, mine. It's not super big, but it feels like it's more of like a coral fish, if I had to describe it. More corally than anything. That said, yeah, I don't think we'll have time for more fins, unfortunately, since, That there. What's the... Okay, yeah. We'll wrap it up now then, just so that you don't run into ads. Since it says ads in 9 minutes, I want to get it done before the ads. So we will, let's see, next week on doing, let's see, speed run! You know what? Actually, hold on. Okay. What we're gonna do, something simple, something sweet. Let's go ahead and we're going to zoom in a little bit here, then grab this guy here. And I'm going to take the initial idea I had of the fins, but I'm going to simplify it. We're going to make this even simpler. That's the hope here. So we'll go ahead and grab this guy, slide it over to be here, grab you some there, yep, and then we'll grab you here, do all of these dots here, lines here, and then erase here, yep, okay, and then have you go there, and there, and there, and there, and there, and there, and there, here, and there, and there, and here, and there, and here, and here, and there, and have that, and then we're going to do, Undo. How do I redo? What did I do? I don't even know. Right, we're fine, we're okay. It's a minor technical difficulty, or not even difficulty. It's just difficult. No, yeah, difficulty, I guess it'd be difficulty. I'm just rambling now because when I am stressed, that's what happens. We'll go here, and then we'll go do here, and then we'll grab you here, and have you go here. Then we'll do some of you guys here, and then we'll grab you here, then have it go here. Then you're kind of halfway there, and then have that there. I'm putting the fish in the fryer right now. He's boiling. We'll go here, and actually, I don't want to do this darker color, so we're going to go a little bit brighter, as I think it's too dark. It's definitely too dark. So we're gonna grab you here, go here, and then fill you in with that guy there. I like that a little bit more, and then for our darker bits here, we're going to make you darker here, so all of that will get darker. You kind of darker on the bottom here, so maybe we make you darker, and also this here is also a little bit on the darker side. You're also on the darker side, so we'll do you here, you here. You're darker because you're in the back. You're darker also because you're in the back. You're also darker because you're also in the back there. Then we'll go about 50%. So 50% about here-ish. Yep. And then we'll do that there, that there. It's not really working, so, you know, it's fine. And then we'll do that there, that there. It's the thought that counts. And then lastly, we'll finish it off with a darker or a shiny area. I say shiny and then it's not even shiny. That's okay. We'll have you go here and fill that in to be here. Something like that there, and have you go there, and then we'll have you be a little bit like, probably that, and fill you in there. You'll then be about here and here, about there-ish, I'd say, about there. You know what, you're fine there. And then we'll have you come out a little bit more. You're all shiny, so you get shiny bit there. You're also a little bit on the shinier side, so you get here, and you also get here and there. And then we'll go about 50%, so grab you here, about 50%, and see about if that at all makes a difference. So 50% there, 50% there, there, and yep, there, there, probably here, probably there. And it's not high contrast is my issue, but that's okay. That's all right and okay. We'll go up a little bit more up here, probably up here. Go a little bit brighter, so maybe what we can do is do up here like that. Add a little bit of lights in some areas here to show off that it is still, you know, fins. That's my guess and attempt on doing something a little bit darker. The inspiration was on things like here, where you can see that there's like a highlight going on. My highlight's not as highlighty, and maybe that's the issue. Hold on. Okay. Let's go to, very quickly, adjustments here and up our brightness on it. If I up the brightness here. You know, I take it back. It's beautiful! Well, we have this, and then we have this. Yeah, okay. And then let's just change this color back to the color it was here. So if I just do this guy here, yeah, okay. And then go back to the other color it was down here. And then if we just change the highlight color a little bit, I think it could work. I think our color was the only issue. And if we go ahead and just change this highlight to a different one, something maybe up here and up here, change it to be that there so it's not as bright, I can see it. I can definitely see it. Maybe even go up here a little bit more, go up here, maybe make it that color instead. No, actually, no. I like this. Okay, 4 minutes. I think we can do it. Okay. With that said, yes, we did 2 fins, 4 fish in total, which I think is lovely. Next week, we'll likely be drawing sharks or seals. I do want to get mermaids in at some point too, but we'll see. Let's take a look here at any pixel art that has been shared in the Discord, shall we? As I click on this guy here, I then click into our planning screen right here, indeedy. And to join the Discord if you'd like to, all you have to do is do !DSCORD, and there's a link, and you can see Neo Cyber as well as Bella. I probably butchered that. Welcome into the Discord though. Welcome in. And if you scroll all the way down to Pixelart Study with me here, oh, I almost got spoiled. Thank you for hiding it, Ame. You can see that there's previous studies we've done. The thing is, well, today we're doing Pixelart sea animals. It's okay. You don't have to do it. Or rather, let me phrase that. You don't have to, but if it is the case that today you draw and want to draw bows, feel free to share it here, even if we're not doing it. The idea is that we can share art notes and study notes back and forth. So still chat if you're up to doing it and post it there too. That said, here are sea animals. Let me scroll up a little bit more. We have 3 minutes. Actually, I don't want to rush looking at everyone's art, so we'll do the ad break now. Actually, instead of trying to rush this, they don't think that's worth rushing. So we'll let it go while it's going. Don't worry if you happen to get ads, you won't miss a thing. In fact, while we're waiting, how about we take a look back to memory lane? Let's take a look at the posted here. and just take a look at some. Actually, I don't know if I want to look at some beautiful lips. I remember specifically some that will haunt my nightmares. Remember, like, dangerous. Yeah, I'm realizing. Oh boy. Oh my. Yeah, the realism, and then you just have Gorgamoth the Great. We have ears here, and let's see, and just so many good memories. We have some lovely artwork here, just ears and oh, it's adorable too from the Mamamer. We also have here some more realistic ears, and boy, I can say ears are a pain. And it's so nice to see people trying too, especially not doing it for the first time. And I really like these ears too. Ears are hard, so I commend everyone to giving things a shot. I do think it's wonderful. Even here you can see the back of the ears and a little highlight. Ears were tricky, but they were fun to draw. I can't say that much. I can't say that much indeed. We also have here noses. And what's noses, might I ask? Let's see here. Noses. Why did I click it? I could have read it and known I shouldn't have clicked it. The voices told me to do it. At least she looks happy. And where is Leslie? Yeah, really, it's not looking too good. Oh my. These are all so lovely, cute. It is very nice to look at, but really, I can say. Oh my. Do you reference? Oh my. And face drawings here, and so many haunted pixels. Haunted, haunted, bald. Who would do that? Oh my, bald. Oh my, we also have some wonderful one bit here. We scroll down a smidge. We have, if I slide down a little bit more here, potion for one beat. And up Yakuya Togami. Oh boy, that's definitely elaborated. It's the second since we've seen Danganronpa. And we have here too, woo, drawing a bush. I was going to say, this does feel like a bush. I can feel bush. It's got like a leafy green feel to it. We also have some potions here too. Oh, so lovely. Thank you all again for posting your art in the study area. And welcome back from the eye break. Hopefully it's given people enough time if they wanted to upload some art to upload it. We just took a look down the light. I don't know if it was for the good or the worse, but we're okay. I'll scroll back up to here and we're good to go. Lovely. Let me make this full screen then. And okay, I don't know why it always moves it down whenever I do full screen, but we're good. We're fine. Let's take a look at Ami's wonderful art, shall we? As I click on this guy here. Oh, that's adorable. Wait. I take it back. I'm not sure how adorable that is. It looks like Bobby's revving up to slap someone. The face is cute though. And Bobby is cute too. Oh, it just looks like it's a Pokemon battle. And this is Bobby here, and then there's a Pokemon over here, and he's got a weapon equipped. An attack team duo! The fish agreed on this. I think it's adorable though, especially with such few little colors and boo! Hi Torin, welcome in the stream, welcome in, hi, and I did say it, boo! And here we have, ooh, I really like this one, specifically the water. We have to do another water study soon. I do know that. I like how you do the foam for the mouth and little sharp teeth and then the little body here, and he's grabbing a snack. Jaws cover. And hi, Nifty Swifty. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, and welcome in the stream. Welcome in. That's a picture of me. This is lovely, Ave. Did you do these all today? Or this is, it's so detailed, it makes me think, man, this took longer than 4 hours. It feels like an last hour, my goodness. And it looks like me going for ice cream in a fridge, and no, it's just me. Hunger. Well done, Ame. And then lastly we have, now, who is this exactly? It looks like a guy wearing a t-shirt maybe? I can't quite tell. It looks like a fish. I knew it! Fresh fish of Bel Air. Oh, hold on. The fresh fish of fresh salt water, fresh water. Or would it be Bell Water? The fresh fish of Bell Water. And now I gotta go Bug Bunny and Looney Toonies the flashback. A manatee. It's the story. All about fish. Well done, me. It's like silly, serious. Silly. The silly ones are always my favorite. Thank you, Ave. Thank you. Oh my. Well, that's not, speaking of serious, and his cousin is cousin correlation at the bottom. Cousin. Oh, that's adorable. I can't say this. As I said before, next week we'll be continuing the study. We'll be doing probably shark. So this is a pretty good teaser. Tomorrow and the day after that, so the 2 remaining streams, as I stream from Friday to Sunday from 1 to 5 p.m. EST. Tomorrow and the day after that, we'll be programming my game. I'm making currently a rhythm typing cafe game where you play as a necromancer. And speaking of silly, I can actually show you this. I should have it. I do. Hold on. I can show you this as a little bit of a teaser to those of you that maybe have not seen the game before. Hold on. Oh boy, hold on. I don't know how well I can show it in big screen here. I think we're fine. It shows enough. Let me see if the audio works here. Lovely. Okay, yes, this is from my game. I think you can hear it. I hope it's not too loud though. There we go. Quality's not too good, but okay. That's tomorrow. And I'm excited for it. And Harfish Court, go! So we'll be working with Scooter and jumping. He's jumping and dating. That's tomorrow. Let me go ahead and close this guy. Click on play here for joy. Indeed. Let me go ahead and slide it over to just chatting. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for participating, chatting, keeping company, or even just lurking. And I will say, as a new viewer, I appreciate how much you explain your thought process while drawing. It helps as someone more new to the Pixelart medium. Oh, that's always lovely to hear. And welcome into Pixelart as well as the more pixel artists, the better. Once everyone's a pixel artist, things will be great. And it's so sweet to hear as well. And I wish you luck in learning Pixelart too. That's always so kind. That said, if you're on Twitch, consider sticking around. Speaking of pixel artists, we'll see if we can find a fellow pixel. We'll see if we can find a fellow pixel artist to raid. If you're on YouTube, that'll be it for me. I'm going to go to the end screen on Twitch, and then I'm going to come back. So if you'd like to stick around for the raid, because just sit there, sit tight, relax.